heart is going for a ride. I'm falling again. Don't even give myself that critical time to make. I'm falling again. All my rules I had a pivotal point to break. Baby, save me, 'cause I've been feeling like a drug lately. I hate these feelings. Something different about your love I need. I swear I got them butterflies laid up to my teeth. Don't drunk up with that double vision. You what I see. Oh, silly. I'll make believe.
Hey guys, welcome in. Happy Faebruary. What's up, Oob, Chablo, Alex? Alex, the Faebruary challenge is, it's not as like well known as like Swordtember, but a while back I was like, man, I really wish I did Swordtember, but I always remember it like in October when it's over. And so I was like, I wonder if there's other challenges like that I could do, like Inktober, Swordtember, things like that. And so I googled it, and like the first thing that came up was Faebruary, and I was like, oh, perfect. So Faebruary is like fairy or like fantasy themed like art challenge for like the month, where like every day of the month you're supposed to do some sort of like art thing, right, for every day. So I'm participating in it this month, and so I'm gonna stream every single day the whole month and do one piece of art at least each day. And then the plan is all the art that I make for it will be published for sale on the marketplace, the Epic Marketplace, the Unreal Marketplace. Hey mom. Hi, Faith. So, yeah, also it's Quinn's birthday today. It's the first. That's his birthday. He is 1 year old. So Jan asked me to put a donation on Goal Up for him in case you guys wanted to, you know, contribute to diapers or, you know, clothes or something. In case you want to. You don't have to. Anyway, so yeah, we're doing a little bit of modeling today. We're probably gonna do a ton of modeling. I'm probably just gonna make like a couple of weapons. I did a monthly theme generator thing. I use GPT, not gonna lie to you. And I came up with 2 theme lists. One that's like very focused on just like art, like fantasy art stuff in general, which was kind of like, it gave a lot of like location themes. Like today was like Enchanted Forest or something, but there's a whole bunch of like different like location themes, and some of those I was just like, I don't know like how I would use this as like inspiration to make like a prop. And so I was like, I'm just gonna ask it to make like another like list based on like game props, like for game art. And so like I made 2 lists, and I'm gonna post both of the prompts from each list, or one prompt from each list every day on the Discord. So if you guys want to check those out, check out Discord. If you're not already on the Discord, I'm sure you are, or you wouldn't be in here. Here's a link to it. There's a Faebruary art challenge channel you can go check out, and you can post your things in there to get people to check out your things. So I will be loosely using the themes each day. Just to warn you, I am certain that some days, especially like Saturdays, Sundays probably, especially this Sunday, I will be streaming late at night, probably like 10 o'clock for like an hour or two. 10 p.m. PST, which is probably like really late for most of you. Because I'm probably not gonna have time during the day, especially Sunday. That's Quinn's birthday party. So, yeah, we have a whole birthday party planned, and it is his golden birthday, which is exciting and also sad because I don't know. I always wanted to celebrate a golden birthday, but my birthday's on the 3rd, so I don't remember it, obviously. And so when I got older and I found out what a golden birthday was, I was really sad that I didn't get to like celebrate that once I knew what it was. So Abby's is on the 12th, which is exciting. She'll actually know what it is, and people like will do something special for it, whatever. Anyway, here's the 3rd too. Yeah, what month is it in, Faith? Just out of curiosity. November. Okay, cool. Mine's April. Anyway, so yeah, we're probably gonna do a little bit of modeling today. I have this character here that I'm gonna be working on here soon, and I'm gonna be releasing. And I was thinking, I don't know. I'm trying to decide what to like release with her. Haven't decided yet. So I was just gonna do like a sword and shield, but I kind of want to do like I like the idea of just doing like weapon sets because of like the way my assets are structured. They're very like packaged as like toys, you know. When I was a kid, I absolutely loved like accessories that you could buy for like Star Wars and like G.I. Joe and stuff, where it would just have like a bunch of like guns and weapons and stuff in it. Like I thought that was like the coolest thing. So like whenever I saw one of those at like the store, even if it didn't like match the characters or guys that I had or whatever, I would always like want that. So I love the idea of having like a handful of characters and then doing a bunch of little accessory packs. And we kind of did one for Halloween. We did like a play kit kind of thing for like the neighborhood pack. But I want to shift into a fantasy because that's what I like more. And so I'm trying to like move all of my designs to fantasy now. And yeah, plus I just don't think like the modern kind of like vibe is like making a ton of like waves on the marketplace, just because like most people like fantasy games. I think that's the majority of games that like come out. Or like shooters, and like I'm not doing that either. So yeah, so anyway, so I'm trying to shift toward fantasy, mostly just because that's what I like. So I want to start making like some accessories sets like that. So I was thinking about doing like today, just doing like, instead of working on the accessories for her today, even though she's really close to being done, she's all UV'd and everything now, I think. I hope she's all UV'd. Yeah, she's all UV'd and like set up, looks like. So she just needs textures and then she's ready to go. Yeah, she's all set. Her, even those fit on the same UV space. So, so I need to finish her up, but I will probably do that another day when it's more themed toward that. So what I'm thinking about doing today is just like a beginner, like newbie level, like gear set. And then maybe throughout the month, I'll make more gear sets that are like, you know, like medium level and then like some end game, like looking gear. So that's kind of what I was thinking. Oh, the first modeling stream. You did. She looks so cute, very smooth. Yeah. Yeah, it was compared to Swords of Magic. Huh, it's weird. It's weird seeing like rounded edges. Okay, so I'm gonna probably just hide her for now because I don't want her being in the way. I don't think she. We'll just make a new layer for her. Make it a pink layer. Just like hide it. We're gonna use this guy for scale reference. We'll put him like over here somewhere. And then I'm just gonna start with probably just a sword, I guess. This will be the very first sword I've made. Well, okay, the first sword I made in a long time, I guess. That is gonna be like more like, I guess, like realistic proportions and not like low poly. So since this is like beginner level, we could, I don't know, should we just do like wooden stuff? No, let's just do basic, like basic like iron sword with like a bunch of chips and like dings in it and stuff. So let's do this, and then we'll need a cube down there for, we need reference. Just go look up like, it's really hard to find like concept art for like basic swords, which you don't normally need just because like everyone knows what a basic sword looks like. But yeah, like people just don't make like concept art for that kind of stuff because it's just boring, you know. But like every game needs like your basic beginner sword pretty much. Okay, I found a good enough reference I think that'll work. I still want it to look cool, right? It can't just be like super dumb looking. So let's just add, actually, I don't know if we can, we just smooth this. Yeah, let's just do a cylinder. I'm just so used to Swords of Magic art style that like when I start working, I'm like naturally just grab a cube. We could probably do 6 sides instead of 8 since we're trying to keep these kind of low poly. Man, we'll do 8. Okay. And then we'll do the same down here. Sorry, I have a hard time like talking when I'm working on like modeling stuff because I'm just kind of focused on like thinking about it. I want it to be kind of chunky because it's just kind of the art style. But at the same time, yeah, that exactly. We need another piece here to like hold this on. Yeah. And then we'll probably grab this and bevel it. Not that much. Cool, that works. And then we're gonna grab it this again, and we're gonna flip it for the top piece so we can use another. Come on, here we go. This will be like the hold the hilt on. We're also gonna remove the polygons from the edges here, because so I just did like a reverse selection. I grab the center pieces. I know the edges are not selected, and then I do a shift select, and that inverts the selection, and then I can delete the edge pieces. You can see like that's what I have selected here. Okay, and now we need hilt. You know, we could do is like make the handle a little more interesting. Like I know it's supposed to be like a beginner weapon, but still, it doesn't have to be a boring beginner weapon. Oh, we broke something. So what we'll do is probably delete these. Scale it up. Scale it up. And we're just cheating here because it was broken. And we'll scale it in again, and we'll just merge that. Let's go a little bit longer on this, and then we'll just kind of scale this. That's more interesting. Okay. What the hell? Can I chat yet? Okay, it was broken on my phone for a sec. Oh, that sucks. We have an ad in 1 minute. Just a heads up, if you guys want to avoid the ads on the channel, you can sub. Let's see. Can I ask a question? How do you handle making the skeletons for your characters? Do you use FK handles? Stuff like that. Monkey, I usually don't. Because some tutorials can be very complex on the subject, others not. Animation is my biggest weakness. Same. Yeah, so what I normally do, these guys right here are 100% rigged by AccuRig, which is like a free rigging tool. Listening on my drive home, wanted to impart this wisdom on chat. If you can't dazzle them with brilliance, baffle them with bullshit. Yes, agreed. So this is AccuRig. Check this out. It's free. I'm not gonna update it right now, so I guess we'll close it. But it's just like takes you through like step by step and lets you rig your character for you. It's just that's how I take the easiest step possible. Shablo, I don't know if you're going to hear this, so I will answer it, and then I guess I'll answer it again afterward. But yes, I have had to mess with weight paints. It's not too bad if you're just tweaking things. I really hate that ads have become a necessary evil on Twitch, but it is what it is, so I guess we're embracing it. Let's see. I have AccuRig, but I find it can be a bit hit and miss. Yeah, that's true. With fingers and stuff. Yeah, so these characters have. Oh, sorry. These characters have like mitten hands. You know, they just have like the 2 fingers, so it makes it a lot easier. I find that I very, very rarely need to animate fingers, so I usually just like rig all my fingers together because my hands are usually like open or closed, and that's about it. So even if you do individual fingers, you can still tell it that you're rigging it as like 2 bones, right? As there's 2 fingers, then you just stick the bones in the middle of like your middle finger, and then that way the character just opens and closes hands, and that's it. Because like unless you know you're gonna be doing something like this or like a peace sign or whatever, then it doesn't really matter that much. What's up, David? Welcome in. Also, the handle looks badass. Cool. Also, the question, and it may be a silly one, but how do you handle clothes, deformation, etc. with skeletons and characters? So these characters, their clothes are built right into the model. So right here, this is just part of the model. See that? Like it just goes up here and then cuts into the clothing. That's the easiest way to do it because you don't have to worry about clothes laying over the top of another model. And most games, even like MMOs and stuff, they would actually go in and probably set it up to like they'd probably have the clothing as a separate piece if you want to like swap it out like an MMO or something. And then like the arms and like the head and like the legs, whatever, could be like separate pieces. And then you would basically just remove the torso. Like, so you say you had your character like in underwear or whatever, right? Like you would just have all your stuff weight painted correctly, so you would like the torso would snap on, and then you'd have arms and legs and head to snap to it. And then like if you want to swap the gear, you just swap the torso out for a new set of like clothing or whatever. And then the weight painting would just do like the like hard work of like keeping everything together. But you wouldn't like have the torso underneath because that's just a waste of polygons in the scene that aren't going to be rendered anyway. So you just swap them out. What's up, Phil? Welcome in. What's the February challenge? So it's the Faebruary challenge. It's not spelled incorrectly on accident. And it's basically just a fantasy like art challenge, daily art challenge. At least that's the way I'm interpreting it. Where you just make a model every day for the month of February. So that's what I'm doing today. So we're just started off with, we're going to do some basic like starter gear for like some basic like weaponry, like swords and fantasy stuff. I think we're probably just going to do like sword and shield to start off with. And then if we want to go further with it, then we will. But I think that's where that's like my goal for today, because I'm going to do these every day for 29 days. And then I'm going to sell all the art at the end of it. So right now I'm just going to try to keep it simple, and we'll go more and more if we want to. It's going to be a metal sword. We're just gonna do like a basic iron sword. Another question. Oh, we already read this other one. Yeah, does that make sense though? Jablo, if you missed, I don't know what it's gonna be yet. It could be a jewel in the hilt. It could just be like a piece of metal there. We'll figure it out, and I might remove it later. I just need something there to like kind of put it together, and we could change it. Maybe we'll make like maybe we'll do like a circle or something. Okay, so what we're gonna do is split this in half. Like this, and then I want to use symmetry on this in X. That way we can do things, like this, where we move this around, right? I'll probably pull this back here, and then we'll, oh, I forgot that it won't let me do that sometimes. I did that time. We'll do something like this. We had 2 edge loops there somehow. That's a much more interesting shape. Like that. So now let's grab all the edges here and we'll just bevel them. Actually, we'll just bevel the whole thing, I think. Pretty much exactly what I wanted, so I think we're good there. And then this guy up here, I realized like as I was talking that this isn't gonna work because I can't. I want the tip of it to be beveled as well, so to be like smooth, even though just because it like matches the style, because like there just aren't any like points or sharp edges. So what we'll do is bring this up and bring it back in to about there, and then we'll probably just do this. Oh, hold on. turn off symmetry. Like that, and that way if we bevel it, it'll like get a nice like softer point on the end. Actually, we probably just get rid of that tip right there, and we'll just bridge this. And we'll start with that. So I want to add a little bit of extra detail in here because I'm not going to be texture painting these. I'm going to use this like flat color thing. And so because of that, I want to make sure that we have enough like detail on the model itself that it justifies it. I'm actually thinking we should split this in half. We're gonna solo this out for a second because I want to change some things. Okay, it doesn't want to do that. Oh, you know what? It probably did do it. Probably did do it, but yeah. So I got it. Got it. It's hidden because I have it soloed out. It gives us a better shape to that if we're going to use this. We might not. Also, I'm going to delete this and I'm going to use this piece. So we have that bevel on the top there. Okay, so this is kind of interesting because we have this piece here, which I think we actually did put that bottom on, but we don't need it now. Right, the whole thing gets covered. Yeah. So with this edge in the middle here, I guess it doesn't matter. Normally I would like merge these together because then you don't have this edge in the center, but I kind of want it like beveled up a little bit, so I still need the edge anyway. So we can merge them and then grab, because like if we got rid of this edge in the center of it, then we would gain extra polygons, right? Like we wouldn't have this, like this wouldn't be 4 polygons here, it'd just be 2. So we'd like split our polygons in half for those meshes, for those pieces. Anyway, but it's not that important. It's like a practice that I like to do, but like in this situation, I'm not going to do it because, oh, I can't even see my poly count. Realize I need to turn that on. Interesting. Forgot what it was now. What's it called? It's been so long since I've had these on, like for like years and years. So recently I've been doing there's poly count. There we go. So Gamedev TV, I'm doing a course for them with Maya. I'm doing a Maya modeling course, and I'm making very slow progress right now, but I am making progress. And I had to reset everything back to how it like normal, like reset all my defaults and everything. So it was the same as someone who would also be starting out. And so that was like, yeah, I don't know. It's been a learning experience because I've had to like remember all the things I had turned on for the last like 4 or 5 years, you know? Well, longer than that. It's been like 8 years, I guess, I've been modeling. What's the status on the survival game? Are you going to go through with it? So far, yes. I'm actually going to work on it today after I finish these 2 props on stream. So we're going to dive into it, I think, today. We have an update coming out ideally tonight or tomorrow for Swords of Magic. So yeah. Shablo, I think it's just because I'm trying to figure out like a good rhythm and momentum to get into it. That's kind of the biggest issue right now. Let me catch up on YouTube. Make a morph sword, a sword with 100 morphs. By the way, if you want to make a quick buck, why not UEFN? Because I don't know how to make money on UEFN. I tried. I made a couple little maps. I only released one of them, and I don't know how to make. Like, yeah, I would love to make money on UEFN. Like, I would do that, like, you know, like 30 hours a week if it meant making like consistent money. But I don't know how to make money on it, and it seems like you just have to get lucky. I also hate doing it, but you know, that's just not the point. If you have information on how to make money on it, by all means, I would love to hear it. Please share. Anyway, so what I was trying to say is up here, I have a poly count. Here's tries 76. If I remove the center poly, edge here, delete all that, I'm down to 60, which isn't like a whole lot here, but like it does like make a difference. And if you can't see the difference, like, yeah, I can't really see a difference. So we'll just leave it like that, right? So it just saves us a few polygons, which is nice. Okay, so here's our sword here. We're gonna remove these outside edges. Maybe even, no, we won't. We're gonna leave them. I'm gonna scale this in a little bit. And then I think what we'll do is we'll put an edge loop down the center here. And then we'll do one here. And I want to bevel right here. Because I want to do the, like, I don't know what it's called. It's this thing. You know what I'm talking about. And we'll do our fraction a little bit bigger. So, like, you kind of have to exaggerate a little bit. Do like 1 point. Sure, we'll do 1.8 on that. And then we'll do 2 segments. That gives us an edge in the middle. We might even do 3 segments. We'll try that. I'm gonna grab these edges because I want this to scale in with the size of the sword. Like that. And we'll grab these faces in the middle here. Perfect, and scale them in. Just enough to, like, you can see it. So it's not like super obvious like that. And in fact, we have like a weird kind of like edge right here. But that's not great. So we might do, maybe what we'll do is bevel this. We might even merge these together. Like that. But that doesn't make that much of a change. And now we can do this easier. We'll bevel this. Now it's like much more obvious. All right, we'll go with that. So now we have 2, obviously we didn't do this in the back as well at the same time, so now we have an issue there. So we're going to delete the edges here, delete this back piece. We'll do an extrude here. Snap that to the center. What? It's not snap to the center. Oh, I see. Not snap to the center. Okay, and then we can do a mirror. In Y, we'll do positive. That's positive. My eyes aren't what they used to be apparently. Merge threshold, that works. Actually, does it work? Yeah. Okay, we're getting close. So we want this edge to be sharp. But we'll probably, actually, let's do it with a bevel. Uh-oh, there's something weird going on here. There we go. This really weird edge going on here. So if we wanna like taper that in, we're gonna have to do it like more smooth. We'll do it like that. Now it's not quite as broken. I think that the tip of this works. But I don't know if I like this section here. Maybe this should. That's better, I like that. Okay, so now if we want to add like that edge that we can like catch the light on or whatever, we should probably, yeah, I think we might just harden this. I don't know. I've never made like a bubbly kind of like beveled sword before, so I'm not really sure how to handle the edge. Like I don't want it to look like it's foam, right? And it looks really round right now. Maybe we'll do, what if we beveled this edge instead? I'm gonna murder a bunch of Fae folk with that sword? Yeah, probably. Can you explain the February challenge? Yeah, so it's just a monthly art or a daily art challenge throughout the month of February, and Fae is just kind of like the theme. So it's just, I'm just taking it as like fantasy. I'm not making everything like fairy themed. So I'm just kind of making like fantasy sort of like weapons or whatever throughout the month. I'm gonna be streaming every single day, so 29 streams in a row, which is gonna be a lot. Some of those streams will be at like 10 p.m. at night, which for me it's about noon. So yeah, they'll expect some like late night streams or early morning streams if you're depending where you're at, I guess, or midday streams depending where you're at. But yeah, it's just like a way for me to like make some progress on my like art stuff that I've been kind of putting off. Okay, I think the trick here is going to be, that's too sharp. I think the trick's going to be 2.2. I think all this needs to be kind of like more out to really emphasize the blade more. Guess we just want these. That's pretty close. I wonder if we should actually just bring this to a point at the top. One sec, guys. Hi, I'm back. Oh, yeah, so there's an ad going on, but if you guys are here, Alex and Shabla, thank you guys so much for the $10 donations. I don't know why the alerts didn't go off. I need to figure out why that's working, or why that's broken. Like, why do I not get notifications when that happens? Happy Babby to Happy Babby. Happy Bappy? I'm confused, Ryan, but thank you. Get home safe without looking at the stream once while driving. Hey, good job. I'm proud of you. If I don't miss any of these, I'm in the UK. When would be the best rough time to catch them? 10 p.m. PST is probably my goal right now for this. Like, okay, so ideally, I'll just stream at the same time I usually do. Welcome back, everybody, from the ad. If you guys don't want to see ads like that, you can subscribe. You can use your Twitch Prime sub, where it's $5 a month. I'm just kind of leaning into the whole, like, Twitch is going to force us to have ads, so I'm using it as, like, I guess if you don't want to deal with it, you can subscribe or you can complain to Twitch. And if we get enough complaints, maybe they'll stop forcing people to, to do ads. I don't know. I was enshrouded. I'm still drowning in Power World. I can't even right now. I skipped over Power World on purpose because I feel like it's just this crazy trend right now and I just don't like it. I don't know. I don't like the guns, so I'm avoiding it. I think they worked really well in Ark because Ark is dinosaurs and like they're big, you know, meat eating like monsters and like you have to shoot them. That makes sense. But I don't like the whole shooting the cute little fluffy pals. Not my fan. Not a fan of that. I like the guns either, to be honest, but I like the Pokeboys. Yeah, I like that aspect, but yeah, I don't know. I won't play it. I don't know. I'm not gonna play it. Enshrouded is really good though. I haven't played in 2 or 3 days now though because I've just been focused on other things. And Matt's probably really mad at me because he's like waiting for me to like progress and I'm like not playing. Cloudy Gaming, what specialty does it take for mega grants, mechanics, looks, or the story? Can you please answer? Love your devlogs. You know, I couldn't really tell you. When we submitted once we had a playable demo. So we had like a lot of like final art in the game that's still in the game today. And we had like most of our mechanics kind of dialed in, like our core mechanics, like combat and stuff dialed in. Not perfect. Like we've changed so much since then. The last 3 years, the game is like totally different. So like, I don't know, it was still pretty new or still pretty meh. But yeah, we changed a whole lot since then. But I would say get a playable game or game out, make sure it's fun, and then submit. And then follow up. Like they also want to see like social media following. Like they want to see all that stuff. So get all your ducks in a row. Like pretend you're pitching this game basically. You know. Like they're giving you free money, so they want to make sure that the game's actually going to be like worth the effort, you know, worth the money they're giving you. Working on Turbo Champ again, congrats. How's the whole entrepreneurial like life going for you? Are you stressed out about it? We're stressed right now. We're like $1,000 short on bills this month, and we're like, shoot. So I have to find a way to make up for that. So hopefully all these art packs will sell and make some money. Because yeah, it's getting a little hairy over here for us. So we're gonna make it work though. If I have to go drive Uber for a couple weeks, I'll do that. Honestly, if you can make $1,000 in a couple weeks on Uber, I'd be pretty surprised. Okay, so now that we've kind of like scaled this out a little bit, I think this like the whole thing is too fat now. So let's just scale it all back in. There we go. Now we're pretty close. I think that's probably good enough. Oh, maybe we needed to, when we beveled all this, we actually probably should have beveled here as well. Let's do it, and then we'll just clean up anything we need to clean up. Oh, that's not what I wanted. 0.1, 0.03, 0.04. Let's I'm gonna merge these. I just realized that I have to do this on the other side now too. Just do this. That way we don't get like the bevel through the center there, just on the edge, which looks a lot cleaner. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. I think it's done. We could do more. We could do less. I think it's done. Cool. Let's save. And let's merge it together, and then let's start UVing. This is the hardest part. This is the easy part. Existing materials. We have Pixpal palette, which we stole from Infenzia. If you guys want to check that out, you should. Let's actually just do an auto UV on all this. That's easier to work with. And then we will need to see our actual colors. Cool. So blade. Let's just auto UV the blade by itself. And we'll scale this way down. You know, I made a script that did this, and now I don't remember like how it works, so I can't use it anymore. All right, this is going to be a pretty shiny sword. We'll go there. So this, oh yeah, we should probably do. We didn't do like dings and stuff in it, which is what we were supposed to do. Oh well. Maybe we're just making the. This is fine. It's fine. Who cares? Wait, I did this, but let's actually grab this piece, this piece, this piece, this piece. We'll do all these together. And we'll make these shiny, like maybe gold. This will be, maybe we'll do just kind of like a blue or something. Maybe like this reddish brown. Do brown? I don't know. What do we do? Let's just do like a blue. And these guys will be the last one. We can make these ones glow. It will do like glowy purple. Like red. Let's do red. We went a little too small on this one. And now I don't know how to like fix it because it's not scaling back up. It's fine though. It doesn't matter much. I don't know if I like the red. You guys like the red? It's a little too much. Maybe these actually should be gold too. And then maybe the bottom one could be gold, or it could be red, and then this one should be gold. Or maybe we should. Let's make the whole thing gold. Do the shiny gold. We could do like a different little offset there. And then what we could do is grab we'll clean it up afterward. we're gonna do object Y. I don't know why it's all broken, but we're fixing it. And then maybe we actually wrong button. What's better? What do you guys think? I think I disagree with these being different color though. Brown looks cool. Brown handle, shiny blue gem. UVing is a pain. I wish there was a 90 to 100% perfect AI UVer. I didn't know there was an AI UVer at all, so that's cool if there is one. I'm being extra picky, but I don't think there's a reason to. I think it looks fine. Keep in mind that in Unreal Engine, this is gonna look a lot better. It's all just like flat colors in here. Loving the colors. All right, when do you think it's time to start working on a new game? Now. It's boring, real, so much work, and I miss people. Really? So, I think for some people, it's just like, it's not for them, right? And maybe that's you, I don't know. For me, I don't know. I would a million times over rather be like sitting here behind my desk, like working on something like this or whatever, like doing my own thing, being like my own motivator, being my own like boss and everything, than working for someone else and getting paid whatever they think I'm worth. Philip, thank you. I appreciate that. Philip just says on YouTube, you are cool. I mean, I'll take it. Anyway, I'd much rather be doing this, right? Like doing my own thing, even though it's a lot more work. It can be pretty lonely at times. But yeah, like at the end of the day, I think it's like way more rewarding. And this is just like my vibe, right? Like I would rather just be sitting here like by myself doing my own thing. You want to see the shiny materials and engine? Yeah, we can throw it in the engine. Do I prefer this over when I was working with Moz? That is a good question. It depends, right? I've enjoyed working with everyone I've worked with, or I wouldn't have like brought them on in the first place if I didn't like them and didn't like working with them. But there's like upsides and downsides. Like one, if you're working by yourself, you don't have anyone, you don't have to like go to someone and say, hey, what do you think of this idea? And then get shot down, right? You just kind of do it. But I do that with like the community. The community. And sometimes I do it with like, we have Soupy and Matt still in our the dev office channel in Discord. And so I'll like put stuff in there and be like, what do you guys think of this? And I'll do it for the dedicated testers a lot too. And sometimes even the supporter lounge. I'll just like, what do you guys think of this idea? Just because I want feedback. But there's some things where I'm just like, yeah, I'm confident this is going to work and this is a fine idea and I'm just going to do it, right? Whereas before I'd have to like, even those little things I have to bypass or have to pass by everyone else on the team because they're probably the ones going to be implementing that. So now that I'm implementing everything myself, I don't have to worry about that so much. I can also just go in and be like, I don't like how mechanic X works, so I'm going to change it. And I just go right in and change it right then. And I don't have to worry about saying like, hey, Lewis or hey, Maz, I don't really like how this works. And then have to like criticize their work, you know, if that's what I'm doing. And I don't have to like ask them to make changes for me because I just do it myself now. So I do like working solo because of that. It gives me a lot more freedom to do and like have control over the project however I want. But there's also like the drawback of like, you know, I have to do everything myself. And it's always nice like having someone to brainstorm with and just like get excited about an idea with, and then like getting up in the morning and going to like Discord and seeing like the progress, right? Pulling the changes and testing it and be like, oh man, this feels so great. You did such a good job. Like I miss that a lot. So it depends. Anyway, speaking of devlogs, I was waiting for that new YouTube video you said you were working on. I'm still plugging away at it. David, it's one of those things where it's like I have to like find time to do it, and I honestly just have so many things on my plate right now. I don't know. We're working on like marketing for Swords Magic. We're doing like a big marketing push. I'm working on the survival game a little tiny bit here and there. Spent like a couple days on it last week or earlier this week and the last weekend. I'm working on Swords of Magic. There's always like a regular update coming out here soon, and then we have another update planned for next month, and then another update planned for the month after that. Later we have another update plan. We have one update planned for like coming up really soon that does like the weapon stats and enhancements, and then we have another not major update, another regular big update, whatever, coming later this month, and then another one planned for next month. So, or like late next month, I think. So like we have lots of stuff going on with Swords of Magic. I've also got the Gamedev TV courses I'm doing. I've also got Arcane Toy Box and now the Faebruary challenge I'm doing. Like I have a lot on my plate right now, and so YouTube is like one of those things where when I get the itch to work on it, I will. But yeah, it's gonna be if I ever even finish that video, it's gonna be a big video. So I'm working on it. Austin, can you explain this color palette? Is like a plugin or a reference image? Yeah, I'll explain it to you. Here's the texture on the material, but how do you determine the glow shiny? Yeah, I'll show you. Okay, so first of all, this is a texture I got from Infenzia, who put this up as open source. You can use it in whatever projects you want, commercial or not. It's just a nice like base. Like if he didn't do this open source, when I saw this, I would have just made my own. So basically, he just has this laid out nice where like there's different sections. So obviously they're like labeled and everything. They're really, really tiny. They're meant to be like a 1 pixel by 1 pixel, you know? So yeah, you put them on these different sections, and then in your game engine, that's how you set these up to do different things. So I will show you how it's set up in Unreal Engine. So let's just go ahead and export this. Actually, hold on. We need to center the pivot around the hand area. Okay, I'll export it. Let's go through it in Asset Shop, Accessories, Final Models, make a new folder called, let's just call it February for now. And then I'll probably reorganize these into groups later. ATV accessory, and we'll call this sword. I'm just gonna call this like a knight sword for now because it's pretty fancy. It's way fancier than I wanted it to be when I first started, but we can always just like use these pieces and just make a variation of it real quick that will take like half the time this one did. That's like a big part of like the modeling workflow that I like to do, especially like game dev workflow, where I just like use the same pieces and just like modify them. Let's open up. I was gonna open up the survival game just because we're gonna open that in a minute anyway, but I don't want to deal with opening that because that'll total overhead. I think it's great that you like the solo dev lifestyle. It definitely is nice having the freedom, and I'm super glad I took a year to try this out. So are you thinking, Ryan, that you're going to go back to work somewhere? I'm definitely still going to be doing game dev in my free time. I'm really enjoying working Godot. Yeah, I think it's... So, hypothetically, Ryan, just because, I mean, I'm curious, like, and you don't have to spill your guts to me if you don't want to, but do you think that if you would have, I don't know, launched a website or a game or something, and it made like 100K this year or something, do you think you would have been like, yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this? Or do you think you still would have been like, this is lonely and I'm bored and I miss working in like an office, whatever? And would you go back to working there anyway? I'll spill them, bro. 100%. That's probably the only thing I don't like about working with a partner is having to come to agreements. Like I'm more community focused, so I'd rather add some things community wants, and he's more into keeping it competitive and serious. Yeah. How many more updates do you have until full release? Yeah, I don't think there's a... It depends, because like the 2 updates that are coming up soon are like weren't like, especially the one right now, it was not really like a planned update. Sometimes, like this is kind of like the struggle with Swords and Magic. We're gonna put, we have ATB test project. I think we'll do this one. The problem with Swords and Magic is like it's such a big game that sometimes I'll just be playing it or watch someone play it or whatever, and I'll be like, you know, I don't like how that works anymore, or I need to fix that thing, or like, man, that's been broken for a long time, or like that's not how that was supposed to be originally. Like the augment stones, right? For a long time I kept saying I'm just gonna remove the augment stones. I don't like how the upgrade system works. We're gonna go back to just upgrading with materials. We're gonna make it like a blacksmithing skill or something. We'll have an upgrade bench. And I had like all these ideas for how I was gonna do it. And then finally, just recently, I was like, you know, let's just like, it's been so long. Maybe I'll just spend some time and just like tweak that system and kind of polish it up a little bit. So that's what I did. I just kind of polished it up and like made it work. And do I have anything in this level? No. Let's open up. I don't want to open the Halloween level because it's ugly. I don't think I have levels in here. No idea. I have a no idea level. I don't know what this is. I don't think that I meant to have a no idea level. I think it like tried to like save a second level or something. We're just deleting it. Oh, is that this level? No, that's untyped. Oh, and now we're on an ad. We'll just go in here and so. Okay, so we have this like super yellow light in here. Let's make this more white so we can see true colors a little better. We probably don't need this thing. Maybe we'll make this. Oh, can't do it like that. Hang on. Let's do 10. Okay. So let's just grab our. Let's make a new folder. And we'll just do day 1. I'm just gonna put these all in this project for each day, and then I'll sort them out later and like migrate them to the other projects to do what we want to do with them. So yeah, we're gonna import into here our I'm looking for asset shop, accessories, final models, February. This is so annoying. I export in here and it puts all of these pieces in here. Like I didn't export all these. Why did it bring all these in here? I'll delete them all later. Fine. Anyway, so I'm importing into here. I don't know why this import is so wide. I think everything is set up. I don't want to import. I don't want to import materials. And I don't want to import textures. Import. Okay, so all these guys are using this material right here, which is the M Pixpal. And honestly, Invensia also has this available for Unreal Engine. So I literally just stole this, like didn't steal it, it's open source, but he has a download for it. So I just downloaded his project and then just migrated this out of it. I might have actually made some changes to it because I didn't like how some of it worked. I don't remember why. I think the glow has some like weird issues with it. But basically what this is doing is it's using this like color mask right here to say like this blue section is going to be a scrolling texture, and then this yellow section is going to be something else. I don't remember what. And then like, but yeah, these different like colors in here are basically set up to modify different parts of this full thing. So these ones right here are the glowing ones. These ones all glow. This is like the full texture. And so like, yeah, it just splits it up into different pieces. I don't know how to explain that too much better than I just did, but okay. So then we just slap on this material here. We'll just go find this material and stick it on here. There it is. So I don't like the glow right off the bat. I think we just do like shiny gems. The glow is too much. The gold might be a little too yellow. We might want to go a little orange on the glow, or on the gold, I mean. I think the metal color is okay. So yeah, that's kind of what that's what's happening. Does that make sense? Hopefully.
Hey, listen.
Oh, I'm so far behind on Twitch. Okay, honestly, I don't know. It would definitely tip the scales in the keep doing solo stuff direction, but I'm not sure it would make me keep doing it. Interesting. You know, I've never had I've had a ton of jobs, right? I've worked at a golf course for a while. I worked at Pizza Hut for a while. I worked at a couple different gas stations. And then I worked at Walmart for 5 years doing like loss prevention. I worked construction for like 3 to 5 years, somewhere in there. I don't remember now. So I've had a lot of jobs, and I worked with like larger teams, mostly smaller teams. I've never like been like Walmart. I wouldn't even count Walmart as like a large team because I worked in loss protection or loss prevention, which is like a very small portion, and you don't really deal with like anyone else in the store really. Like you meet everyone else in the store because you have to know who they all are because you're also watching to make sure they're not stealing. But like you don't really like work with them, and so I've never really worked with like a big team. But I've never been in like an office environment. I've never been in like a creative like environment with other people. So I've never worked like a AAA studio or something like that. And that's the experience I would love to have. And I wonder if I had that experience, if I'd rather be in that sort of like environment than working by myself at home. But I don't know if I'll ever find that out. Because I've applied for a few jobs before and it's just been like shot down immediately. So I wonder what's in that level. A no idea, I would assume. A no idea. Got it. Hold on, did I miss something? Oh, we built our own Shangri-La. Yeah. If I had enough money right now to retire, I'd be doing this stuff until the day I died. It's a mix of the pressure to make money and feeling alone, but that's just where my head is right now. Yeah, you know, I 100% get that, Ryan. I 100% do. It's interesting. I retire in 9 months with a pension, and I am afraid of doing game dev only, so I'm still looking for another job. Interesting, Ryu. Really? Are you afraid because of like... Are you still worried about money? Or are you worried just like... I don't mind being poor, or I don't mind being alone, I just don't want to be poor. Got it. Yep. And yeah, this is UE5. The interface looks so clean. Yeah, UE5 is really nice and clean. I love UE5. I wish... Unfortunately, if we're doing the survival thing, we're probably using UE4 again for it. Because it's just, that's where the engine's already built in, or the project's already built in. I want to be poor and alone. Well, Ryan, it looks like you're on track for that. What's up, Soupy? Welcome in. We need a command to explain what February is. Yeah, let's do one really quick. Because we'll be doing it all month. Let's just make one really quick. Commands? Add? Basic command? I don't know if we're supposed to put exclamation point. We'll put it now and then we'll check it and then edit it later. Everyone can do it. We don't need a cooldown, no cost. Let's say Faebruary. Faebruary. I got it. Is a daily art challenge themed around fairies and fantasy. For the month of February. Okay, how's that? It looks like they do all have commands. I assume this went to the bottom somewhere. Let's try it. There you go. What's up, Therabloxian? It appears, oh yeah, so Austin, hopefully that cleared that up for you. If that doesn't make sense, I can explain it more. We're gonna go make some tweaks to it. So the cool thing about this is like, I don't need to change the texture ever, like it just works. And then I just kind of go back to the model and then I can re-import it. Actually I can just put the palette on here. We even have one with no emissions, so we don't have like weird bleeding textures, but that seems to work just fine. But yeah, I don't know if I agree, if I like the gold anymore. We might, I don't know, we'll play with it. Where's my, right there. Okay, so let's move, first of all, let's move this off of glow, and we'll just go to like, what? UV shell. There we go. We're just gonna go to like shiny red. Maybe we do, yeah, whatever. Let's just try shiny red for now. You guys want to do a different color? Should we try blue this time? I think Ryan said blue. Since Ryan's alone and poor, we're gonna do what he wants to do. Let's go like maybe like this color. Sure. And then the gold, I think we're gonna go more orange. Deanna's probably like smitten with the blue too. We'll go a little darker on the gray here. In fact, we could do like a blue like metal. Let's go like, oh, we can't actually. That won't be shiny. Unfortunately, that is kind of a drawback to this. Is like, I'm kind of stuck within like this palette if I want like the metallic. Like I could change it obviously, but like this rock section here, like I'd like to use one of these colors for my metal because these look more like metal to me than these do, but you can't because that's just how it's built. And you could of course make your own texture palette. You don't have to use this, right? If you want to do something like this, you can do it yourself. Okay, let's try this. Freeze, export, and we just save over the top of it, and we go right back into Unreal and just re-import. Interesting. I've never seen like an import prompt like pop up like that. I kind of like that. It feels a little more like high fantasy. I think it looks good. Let's look at it in the white. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Yeah, cool. Successful weapon. I also have all of the stuff making, I also add a little bit of extra like shine to it to make it look like plastic because that's just the style. Like everything kind of has like a little bit of a plastic look to it. Even like the wood over here does just a little bit. But that's on purpose. I do that on purpose. So if it looks a little plasticky to you, that's because I do that. Okay, let's see. I get what you mean with the teams, but I learned that as long as you got a strong leadership, it's fine. Most teams I have been in, though, are all chefs. Oh, interesting, Phil. Thank you so much for explaining. That would allow for so much customization. Yeah, exactly. And it's so easy to like do a quick like texture on it, right? Like if I were gonna go hand paint that texture, that would have taken me like another hour of work, right? To go like hand paint all of that, which is what I was doing early on with the Arcane Toy Box stuff. So I don't know if it's in here. I can import it, I guess. What's in here? Here we go. So this is one of the first weapons I did, and it's like it's all hand painted. Like I brought this in and like added here. I'll show you the texture on it. Like I just brought this into a painting program. I think I use Affinity Designer, and I just like threw in all these details, and it looks good. Like it adds like a lot of extra like pizzazz to it, right? Like obviously this is like the ideal way to do this, right? Like you have a lot more like control over it. Like you have a lot, like it just looks a whole lot better. These ones are also all hand painted, including like the squirt gun here. But like I put a lot less detail on the squirt gun because I was like running out of time. Like I had to like get stuff done faster. And then with this one too, like it's hand painted. But like it's you don't see it as much. So like the hand painted does definitely add like something extra. If I just did like a flat color on this, it wouldn't have had the same effect. So like there's definitely a reason to do like the hand painted stuff. But you saw like the result in like Unreal Engine. It's just like it's not enough of a difference for me to justify spending an extra like hour on like every single prop to like hand paint it. Just for this art style anyway. Because I just think this looks pretty dang good. So anyway. All right, should we make a shield? Thanks, Austin. Yeah, I like Infinity a lot too. I'm a little bitter though because I was like, man, I like this guy's channel a lot. I want to be more part of the community and everything. So I went to his Discord, and they do like a weekly like art challenge. And I was like, you know what? This is a really good way to like get me to like work on ATB like every week to get like something out there. And so I was like, cool, I'm gonna do this. And then there's a bunch of rules on how to submit for the challenge, which I thought was weird because like you don't win anything, you know, whatever. But in there you have to submit a blend file. And I was like, well, I don't use Blender, I use Maya. So I commented and I was like, hey, is it okay if I do the challenge, but I don't submit a blend file? I can just submit like the FBX, whatever, so you can see it through there if you want. Because I'm using Maya, not Blender. And they came back and they were like, well, this is a Blender community, so no. And I was like, oh, okay, well, okay, bye. And so I just left the Discord because I was like, I guess I'm not welcome here. Like, I don't use Blender, so I guess I can't participate in this modeling community. And so I felt really like ostracized. Like I just didn't. Like I was like, well, I guess I don't know. It just was frustrating to me. So now I'm not part of the community, and I don't participate in his channel as much as I used to. I do still give shout outs, and I still like Infinzia. It just sucks that like I don't know if it was his community or him in general who are just like so pro Blender that they can't be bothered by anyone else who uses any other tools, which is like so close-minded and not how like art should be. But you know, whatever. It is what it is. Oops, that's a miss. Hashtag Blender community. Yeah. Yeah, like I like Blender. I just don't use it because I just learned in Maya, and I can't be bothered to learn Blender. Mostly because I don't like the hotkeys. I use very, very little hotkeys in Maya. Yeah. The nice thing, what I love about Maya is there's like 3 different ways to do everything. And my favorite way is the shelf because it's just like, it's so like old man proof, you know, and I'm getting to be an old man. So I can just be like, what's that thing I'm trying to do? And I just look through my shelf till I find the button, right? And then I click a button. Like finding and clicking a button is like basic, the easiest thing for me. And then the next one is like the menu. Like I can go mesh, soften edge right here, right? And click soften edge, or I can just click the button here because I have it like saved on my bar. But you can also just grab something and like grab it, like, and then go in here and I can do, it's not in here. It's whoops. It's in the edge right here. So if I have an edge selected, I can go to soften edge and soften edge there. So you can use this like cool context menu and do like pretty much everything. So if I want to make a new model, like right click and just like I hold shift and then right click. So there's a little bit of like Blender shenanigans going on here. We have to like hold different keys to get different like context menus and stuff. But it's not so much like, oh, how do I bevel again? Oh, I have to press S, D, T, F, Control, Alt, Delete. Like, I hate that. I cannot remember all those like keys. So like if I just have to right click and then find the menu I'm looking for, like this works so much better for me as an old person who can't remember things anymore. So yeah, I can just like make a cube and start working on it. And you can like bevel and stuff like that from that menu too. Like I can go, I thought I could like bevel the whole thing in here. I guess you have to like be in edge mode first. Bevel edge. See, so I can do all the things I need to do from that context menu, which is really handy. I don't use it very often just because I know exactly where to go up here to do it. And it's just become like kind of ingrained. But as I'm teaching through my course that I'm doing for Maya, I'm trying to teach all three of those like levels of like, here's the menu with everything on it. Because I could just go up here and go, you know, mesh. Actually, it's probably edit mesh bevel, right? So I can do it there, or you can do it, from your own menu that you like your menu bar you've made, or you can do it from the context menu. And like, if all else fails, if you don't want to go up to the menu here and you're like using something often that you can't like put on your bar or whatever, you can hold down spacebar and get all of those menus right here. Like, here's the file menu right here. I can just go file, save scene. Like from the spacebar menu, which is like, I don't know, there's just like so many ways to do it in Maya that it's just kind of like caters to everyone, and it's so modeling friendly that there's not like a million hotkeys for like other things that aren't modeling that like get in your way. That's why I like Maya so much. Yeah, the ironic thing is Maya used to be like the standard with Cinema 4D. Yeah, and now Blender is very much the standard. Hold on, let me catch back up on Twitch now that I've got caught up on YouTube. February is too hard to spell. It's the Wednesday of months. Yeah, it's true. Is it where Swords and Magic and stuff? Somas? Is Somas? What are you talking? Wait, what does SOMAS stand for? Community massacred a bunch of fake creatures. I'm assuming you mean Swords and Magic. So we abbreviate Swords and Magic with SNM, Swords and Magic. That's the easiest way to abbreviate it. You can abbreviate however you want. That's one of the reasons why the next game is going to be of like much simpler like name. Like, it's not going to be like 5 words, you know. It's not going to be complicated. It's going to be super short and easy and everything. Because like there's so many abbreviations for Swords and Magic that we're like none of them like catch on. So we're working on that. I want money to do things, but no, the Faebruary is not where you obliterate a bunch of fake creatures. Unless you want it to be, I guess. You could draw pictures of that if you wanted. I want money to do things. If I was not married, I would risk it, but I have a family and I don't like asking the wife to sacrifice like that. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. But at the same time, Ryu, because of Swords and Magic and because of Kindred Games and like how everything played out, if it weren't for those things and us taking that risk, Jana would not be home right now, like being a like stay-at-home mom, which is like, I think she loves it. You can ask her for yourself. But like, as far as I can tell, she absolutely loves this, and she loves being able to stay home. And I don't think she would trade this for the world, because she gets to spend every single day with Quinn, which she didn't get to do with Abby when she was little. So I think she'd rather us struggle a little bit and be home and like be able to like make her own schedule and do family things and stuff like that. I think she'd rather like scrape by than have like, you know, an abundance of money, but also have to be working, right? Like at somewhere. So I'd be down for a studio apartment with no kitchen and a cardboard box, but my fiance has normal people needs. Yeah, Ryan, I used to be in the same boat. Like I used to be of the opinion that I never want to be like house poor. I'd rather be like house rich, you know, like live in like slums basically, but then have money to go do nice things, right? Do fun things, go on vacation, all that stuff. But then Jana was like, you know, I don't really like cockroaches on our kitchen counter, so I think we should get a better apartment. So we did. And we've been upgrading like every 3 to 5 years since then, pretty much. We've been here for a while. We have in this house. I don't think we're planning on leaving anytime soon either. Oh, ad break time. You ever use the UE5 UV editor? No, I didn't know there was a UV editor in UE5. Hey, lighting looks so nice. Lumen is something. Money. Purple. I kind of like the blue. The cool, like we could. The one drawback to the like doing textures like this is that the way I did it in Swords and Magic, it's very easy just to make a variation of the sword that has a different colored like texture in it, and it's actually pretty easy to do it in here too. I just have to do it in Maya, but in the way I do it in Swords and Magic is I can do it real quick and easy in Unreal Engine. So like that is definitely a drawback of this type of like texturing, but this type of texturing is so much more efficient because I use one texture for basically everything in the whole world. So I don't have to worry about like texture space. I don't have to worry about like a bunch of files. Like it's way cheaper. The fear that comes from going indie is that marketing the game is so difficult sometimes, and indies are kind of left to the mercy of the Steam algorithm to an extent. There are things we can do to optimize our chances, but it's hard. Work AAA for 10 years and going indie is both exciting and terrifying. Yeah, DWI, I know exactly what you mean. I'm in the exact same boat right now. But when we like we were like trying to figure out like why is Swords Magic not making any money anymore, and we like kind of like take a step back and realize that we haven't made any marketing efforts in like a year. Like we've never like, we didn't like go above and beyond to send out a bunch of keys. We haven't like been like posting press releases very often. We haven't really done any crazy marketing attempts in like a year, and we're barely posting devlogs. I think that's the only thing like that's like scraping us by. And so when we realized that, it was like, well, why are we not just like, you know, doing like a big marketing push like every month to actually make some money? And so that's what we're doing this year. They're the same fantasy aesthetics preferences, and I'm vibing. Yeah, Ryan, if you play Minecraft, right? Or you've played Minecraft, pretty sure. Have you ever seen the, oh man, I can't think what it's called now. It's been so long. There's a texture pack for Minecraft that's like it's like a fantasy aesthetic, and it's all like blues and browns. What is it called? Hang on. I probably won't be able to find it now. What's it called? They're not called texture packs anymore. They're called, I'm typing a texture pack anyway. Resource packs. You know what? Maybe I will find it actually pretty quick. Maybe. I assume that there's like been hundreds of them since I played Minecraft. It's been years. But yeah, the one that I'm thinking of has like lots of like blues and browns, and it's like my favorite one. That's what this reminds me of, especially in Engine. Yeah, it looks great. Anyway, need the link for the color palette. Oh, let me try to find it. So let's see. I'm just so jealous of I'm so jealous of, sorry, here's the video. I'll post it here and I'll paste it in YouTube chat too. Oh. I'll paste it in YouTube chat. Hand paint is gorgeous. I agree. Hand paint is my favorite art style when it comes to 3D models, but it takes so much work. Thought that was a sword, squirt gun, shield before you moved it. Oh, way to cut off people. The ads, sorry. Gatekeeping at its finest. Oh, we were talking about the, yeah. Oh my god, I'm so far behind. I'm so sorry. You learned Python and Maya? Yeah, I actually learned a little bit of Python with Maya. I made a script like a couple months ago for texture purposes, and I was like, this is pretty easy. Why would they want you to submit the blend file anyway? I don't know. I don't know what it matters. Export to FBX into Blender, then re-export a blend file. Win-win. No, I'm not. I didn't want to go through the effort of like using Blender to do that. It just wasn't worth the effort, you know. It was annoying. If draw call is a problem, make all assets just one texture, like you're doing with this positive thing, right? Yes, because if all assets just use one texture and one material, they have to use the same material, not just the same texture. If you have like 100 materials on 100 different assets, but they all use the same texture, you're still going to get 100 draw calls. So Our problem is that in Swords of Magic, if we had a sword like this, it would have 1, 2, 3, 4 materials on it. And so every prop in the world has like 3 to like 10 materials. Buildings have like up to 20. Some interior scenes, because we like merge all of our props together, have like 60. Like there's so many draw calls in like every one. Like draw calls is one of our biggest deficits as far as like graphical stuff goes in Unreal Engine or in Swords Magic. And so yeah, that's a big problem. Old man, is Maya something you picked up at Full Sail? Yes, it is. More performant, have multiple assets, use one texture or as few as possible. Yes. The context menu is more difficult for newbies.
Someone's at the front door doorbell.
Someone's at the front door doorbell. We got a new Google, what's it called? The doorbell thing. It's I can't think what it's called now. Jan's gonna tell you in a second. Unless she's, you know, busy answering the door. Nobody's there. I think someone just dropped the package off. Yeah, and hand painted stuff is difficult because technically you wouldn't want to like, I wouldn't want to make a whole new texture just for this one sword, right? So what you'd want to do is if you did like hand painted stuff, is you'd either like pack like 10 or 15 props onto one like asset, right? Or like into one texture file. So let's say I do like a shield next, and then a mace and a dagger or whatever else, right? Like I do a whole bunch of stuff, and then that way I can open them all up and like texture paint them all in one file and use like the one file for all of them. And that's one good way to do it, because then you're saving like texture space and like whatever. Sorry about the dogs, guys. Hang on 1 second. Hey, sorry, I'm back. We have our fence in the backyard this summer started like rotting, and we have an HOA. So we like contacted them about the fence, and they were like, yeah, we'll get someone out there whenever to do it. Actually, I think it was last winter it started rotting, and then this summer we realized that had rotted so much that all like the boards like moved away, and then rats had started chewing on the boards, and they were in our backyard eating like bird seed that had like fallen from our bird feeder. And so they sent out like a pest company to like handle the rats. So they were here like cleaning up traps and stuff, or changing traps. You have anti-aliasing on your Maya viewport. Oh my god, you don't. Is there a reason? It looks so much better. How do you turn on anti-aliasing? I can probably turn it on. I don't normally turn on things that like make performance worse, because like it doesn't matter that much. But I've never like tried it. Is it under? Probably under here, right?
It's the birthday boy.
Set it there. Found it.
Can you say hi? Hello.
Oh my god, that does look so much better. That's insane. I've never had that on before. That's crazy. That's off by default, Faith. I didn't even know that was a thing. I just assumed that Maya just didn't care about that kind of stuff. Hi, sorry. I was just discovering new things. Oh. Go ahead. Yeah. Happy birthday, Queen. Wait, hold on. Who donated? Why is there... Jesus Saves tipped $200 a minute ago? Why do I feel like that's Ryu? Quinn, you just got $200, $220 for your birthday. That's amazing. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for that. Lots of screen space ambient occlusion in Maya. It helps me to see. Yeah, so I usually have it on too. The problem is that sometimes it gets like bugged, and then I can't see when I select things, which is really annoying. So sometimes I have to turn it off, but it's on right now. But yeah, I also like it a lot too. It's really helpful when you're doing with a bunch of gray shapes. Anna said she never traded this. Painterly, you made it up. It doesn't exist. They left. No idea. Oh, they didn't leave. They just went to the backyard. It's under panels, a little button, one of the small square buttons. Oh. Multi-sample anti-aliasing. That's it. Okay, that was easier than finding it in the menu. Oh wow, big words for such a small boy. Looks so much better. It does. You're not wrong. I will be turning that on from now on. I'm actually gonna put that in the course too, because I didn't realize that was a thing. So when are you having a Manny? I am the Manny. I wish we could afford a Manny. But now I want this. Doesn't affect performance that much for me, at least. Yeah, I don't think I'll see it in affect performance. Maybe if I was working on like something like really, really big and complicated. Someone donated $200.
What?
Yep. I'm pretty sure it's Ray's in this, but he won't admit to it. I'll have to look it up on PayPal later and then yell at him. Thank you, Ryu. I assume that was you.
Oh, he looks like he wants
Not like I want a nap. He doesn't act like he wants a nap.
Is he trying to get the turtle?
You want this turtle?
Oh, that looks weird. you're not holding anything.
It's just like a brown ball. It's a green turtle. Jesus did it, but I can try and match his power. Don't match his power.
Alright, get that back to Dad.
I don't think you're allowed to try and match Jesus's power. I think that's against the rules somewhere. Can I have the turtle back?
Don't eat it. You don't eat it.
Happy birthday, buddy. It's crazy he's 1 year old today.
Oh, you wanted that.
Okay,
I
you can have
make
it.
you your own. That one's for Dad.
You can take it with him, it's okay. You won't hurt it.
Just slobbery.
It is weird. You see its eyes? Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, it's just a little green turtle guy. He's really cute. And you can see him. Do you want him? You can play with him today. Hmm. He's just gonna throw him. Yep. Called it. Alright, love you. Have a nice nap. Did that guy leave?
Yeah.
Okay. What'd you talk to him about? Oh, okay. Alright. We have done a prop. Should we do a shield or should we just move on to the survival game? Janice says 1 a day. Had to take my 2-year-old to the dentist today. Yeah, so we were just learned, or it's, you can read different theories and suggestions everywhere, but like when we were with Abby, it was like, oh, when they get their first what was it actually? I don't remember when we took Abby to the dentist first time. But moving on the survival game. Everyone wants the survival game. Chablo wants the shield. Anyway, but when we took Abby to the dentist for the first time, I think she was like 2 or 3, I think, around there. And then we read the other day that like when they first get their first tooth, you should take them to the dentist. And I was like, for what reason? Like what? Yep, looks like they've got a tooth. Good. Give us $100. Like I don't know what you need to take them to the dentist for when they have, you know, a single tooth. But yeah, so we are probably I think we're gonna set up a dentist appointment for him. For some reason I'm thinking we already did. And I would have gone, but I don't think we did. I don't know. We're at the dentist so much for Abby because she has braces right now, so she's like constantly going back and forth between the orthodontist and the dentist, and it's just we're there all the time. So I can't remember now if we made an appointment for him or not, but maybe we have one coming up. Anyway, he has his 1 year checkup here soon. Anyway, okay, let's save this and we will close it and open the survival game, which I'm already running into. I literally just saved you. Save selected. Okay. Running into an issue already with this survival game because last night I did a bunch of work on the weapon enhancements, and because the survival game. Oh wait, what am I doing? I don't want this. I already opened it. Because the survival game is based on the same engine. Another $100. Ryu. Didn't we just talk about this? Oh my god. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's so kind of you. You really don't need to be doing that. But I really do appreciate it. That's really helpful. We were like $1,000 something short this month for bills. So while, you know, obviously we'll buy Quinn a gift for that, with that stuff, with some of that. Some of that's gonna go to bills, and that's gonna be helpful. I appreciate it. We have the rest of the month to make that money. It'll be the beginning of next month for short. And then after Quinn's birthday, I'll probably put a donation goal up for that too, just so, you know, people can contribute a little bit if they want to. Those who have to give, those who do not. For those who have to give, those who do not is the greatest calling we have, my friend. But I could give more. I'm not sure what that means. Yeah, but no, you're fine. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That was more than enough. I need to figure out why my alerts are not making noises. They're not making sounds. So I don't hear them. I have an alert box. Properties. I assumed the alert box would make noise. Maybe not. I have no idea. I don't know why it's not making noise. 420 is a funny number. Yes, it is. Wait, you did not just donate another $100, Ryu? Dude, stop! What are you doing? That's enough. That's enough. Oh my god, thank you, but that's enough. He's speaking in prose. Seriously, that's enough. You're done. You're cut off. You're not allowed to do any more. Okay, we're opening this other project. I'm ignoring donations now, so you'll stop. Oh, I posted the link to Infancia's video where he talks about the new palette and then shares it in the description, by the way. So if you didn't find that already, it's in the description of his video. I'm trying to find a real cool way for this. They're right here. Here's the actual link for it. I'll post it on YouTube too, even though I don't think anyone's watching YouTube anymore. There's the link. It's a Dropbox link. I cannot vouch for the safety of it, but I have downloaded before, so Pretty sure he hasn't changed it and like uploaded virus or anything. But yeah, so that gives you I think like a whole list of things to, let me look, I'll click on it. Yeah, it's a whole list of things you can download. What I'm using from this is actually, this doesn't have the Unreal stuff in it, so maybe there's another link in there somewhere. Maybe it's on his website or something, I don't know. But there is like, he has a whole like Unreal project and everything you can use to set it up, whatever. Anyway, but yeah, there's that. Anyway, so yeah, the survival game is slightly problematic because they're using the same, it's basically, it's literally just going to be like an asset flip from Swords and Magic, right? With like a different like old setup. There's going to be new mechanics and everything, so it's not going to be like a full on like, oh, I've just reskinned the game or something. Like now it's the same game but new. It's going to be a lot easier to build this game, I think. It'll be a lot faster, I hope. But the problem with it is if we want to change like core like mechanics and stuff in Swords and Magic for the better, and we would also like those changes in Starlight Builders, then like I have to like do that twice because I'm not like using them. It's not like a modular system where I can just like grab the pieces from it, which is kind of a pain. What's up, Vi? Welcome in. Hi, boss. Oh my god. Jesus does not approve of the 420 number and the message it supports. Thank you for another $20, Jesus. Starlight Builders makes me think of Dragon Quest Builders. Yeah, that was my first thought too, which I kind of like because it's sort of in the similar vein, right? I'm 1,000,000% still open to other name ideas. This was just the first thing that like I thought. I went through like a whole bunch of ideas for names, and this was the first one that like caught for me, and I was like, okay, that's actually not bad. The problem with it, kind of Shablo, close. It's close to that. It is the most recent build that you guys have, plus a little bit extra, but not the most recent build that you'll get in the next update in the next day or two. Starlight is a great word as well. No, I didn't mean it as a bad thing either. I actually really like it. Yeah, Jana liked it a lot too. I think it was her favorite one out of like the 10 or 15 I sent her. So, and mine too, I think. The only reason I don't like Starlight Builders is because my first thought is sci-fi. My first thought is like, cool, this is going to be a game where you're like exploring planets and like building stuff on other planets, whatever, or like you're in a spaceship, whatever. And like that's not even close to what it is. So that's the only reason I'm like, eh. Big money donation train. Oh my god. We just donated $250. Thank you. Happy birthday, Quinn. That's the name that came on, so thank you. You guys are insane. That's super kind of you. I appreciate that a lot. You guys are amazing. 10 times the best estimated value. Now it's 690. Wait. If it's 10 times the best estimated value. I got it. Ryan, I was going to say I think it's you, but I don't think it's you because you were just complaining about being poor. So I don't think you'd be donating $250 right now. I have a message request on Facebook suddenly. And a friend request. Can anyone guess? Can anyone guess what the message is? And if you're in chat, I'm going to call you out for literally just typing hi in a DM. Here, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of internet etiquette right now, just because I feel like obviously we need to mention this. When you're messaging someone for the first time, you've never messaged them before, just tell them what your intentions are up front. Don't just say hi. It's really frustrating for people because they just like, I don't know if this can be a scam. I don't know if it's just going to be like a meaningless conversation where you're just like, hey, because I don't have time for that kind of stuff, you know, like don't waste people's time with just like a hi. Just tell them what you want. I want to marry your father. That's fine. Yeah, like that's good enough. You can just like, you can even open with like, hey, love your devlogs, or love your game, or hey, I caught your stream the other day. Like that would be fine. Just don't do hi. It's so frustrating. Because then what am I supposed to say back? Now I just got to say hi back. Nohello.net. Is this a thing? Imagine calling someone on the phone, going hello, and putting them on hold. This is amazing. I did not know this was a thing. Please don't just say hello in chat. I love this. I did not know this was a thing, but I complain about this all the freaking time. When you message someone, say hi, and after they respond, follow up with, can I ask you a question? Oh my God, Joe, I can't even tell you how many times I've got that exact same thing. Is hello better? No, it's not. But if you use hello with proper caps and punctuation, then at least I know you're probably not a Nigerian prince. Right. So I guess it's a little better, but it's not better enough to justify saying you should do that. Okay, so this looks a lot like Swords and Magic, and I know what you're thinking. It's probably it's not Swords and Magic. But I am getting a bunch of failed to loads, and that worries me a little bit. A little lot, actually. I have fixed this like 15 times. I don't know why this is still giving me blueprint compilation errors. So yeah, I'm a little worried that we have a whole bunch of errors in this, and we probably are. All right, why are we failing to compile a set node? S&M dialog widget. Sometimes it's like you couldn't figure that out yourself, Unreal Engine. You literally already plugged in the exact, like it was already plugged in. I don't know what changed there. Okay, let's press play. I tested this the other day and everything worked to my knowledge, but there's a chance that there's still broken things that I just haven't discovered yet. You fix up redirectors. I did not fix up redirectors. I should probably do that. That's actually a really good idea. Whatever name you decide for this game, I'm sure will not have an N. No, it will not have an N. See, and you know why? Because it's actually apostrophe N, not an apostrophe in Swords and Magic. And that alone is like one of the dumbest things I've ever done. I just thought, like, when I came up with that name, I was like, Swords and Magic and stuff. It's such a, like, it's like so on the nose about what it is. And it's kind of like funny and like quirky. And I was like, this is a perfect name. I'm going to do it. And I just, looking back, I'm like, why did I do that? I could have named it anything else. Just like anything else, and it would have been better. Why do you not like the N in Swords and Magic? Survive and don't die and stuff. It's just complicated for people to remember. Faith. Like, we have two websites. One is swordsandmagic.com, and one is playswordsandmagic.com, I think. Am I wrong? Swordsandmagic.net or playswordsandmagic.com. Anyway, but people can't remember it, and so it was we just did play Swords and Magic because we thought that was like the easiest to remember, but people can never remember it. Like, anytime I come into like someone's stream, they're like, oh, you make that game, what's it called? It's like swords and stuff or something, Swords and Magic, and like they can never remember like how it's spelled. They don't remember, like, it's just too hard to like Google. You should take Swords and Magic from me, please. Where's my mouse? How have I lost my mouse? Oh, because I had pressed play. Taking a long time to launch the game. Wait, you have this website? You own this website, Ryan? You own that domain? That domain? I got it for the bug form? Really? That's weird. What's up, Feldy Arts? How are you? Yeah, please take it. All right. Well, I'm just gonna port forward. I'm just gonna do like a forward to it. Does that mean a palindrome? Oh, it is a palindrome. That's fun. Remind me when it's up for renewal. I think you can just transfer it now, Jana. We don't have to do that. Okay, so far everything's good. Pretty sure you can fight fight bad guys, if there were any. I can swing weapons. I can open my... This is broken. I can drop items and pick them up. We have all the basic functionality. Gotta figure this out. So that's definitely broken because I can't equip it. Okay, so we have some broken things. Let's go. Also, fixing up redirectors is not as easy as it seems in this project, because usually if I do it in the entire content folder, it breaks everything. So let's just let's try it. I'm almost positive that it's going to just crash the engine, but it'll open up pretty quick because it's just been open. So let's just try it. It's gonna take a minute. You know, I am sorry, I'm just obsessed with this website you sent me. I was just going through it and it says the same goes for You Got a Sec. I'm pretty famous for doing things like that, but would never do that if I wasn't like immediately ready to like follow up with something. And even then, it's usually like you got a sec to jump in a call or something like that, you know? I don't know. What's your goal with this? Oh, okay. So Joe, I was working on Dwarven Hold. I don't remember if you remember that one. It was just like a lane-based RTS game. And after like a couple weeks off from it, I one kind of lost the itch to work on it, and two realized that it's going to be a bunch of work to get it to like the point that I wanted it to be at. Well, not necessarily. It was a lot. It was easy to get it to where I thought it was going to be fun, but it wasn't fun at that point. And I realized that it's going to be a bunch of work to make it fun. And so after like really thinking about it and like kind of like sitting down and really designing through it, I just decided that one, strategy game's just not my cup of tea. And so me spending the next like 6 months on a strategy game that was pretty like niche and probably too unique to like fit into the strategy like genre in like a way that was like going to be profitable or like successful. And yeah, the new Project Allure is for sure an issue. But yeah, and I just decided it wasn't like, that wasn't where I wanted to spend my effort. And so I decided to just call it quits. I prototyped it. It didn't work super well, so I've just kind of shelved it. I just trashed the channels and the Discord and everything, and we just officially shelved it. So I'm not gonna like throw it out or anything, because there's stuff in it that I could use later if I wanted to, or maybe I'll come back to it if I get the urge one day. It's like to finish up games or something. Who knows? But I was thinking about like what would be like the ideal like next project if I wanted to make like another project. And when Power World came out, I realized like also I've been playing Enshrouded a lot, and I've been like really hyped about Enshrouded. And I haven't played it in like the last 3 days now, but still. And I realized like one of the games that me and Jana pretty much almost always buy when they come out is survival games, like base building survival games, because it just kind of gives Jana like the creative freedom to like cook, like do the cooking thing and like the harvesting thing that she likes to do, and like usually farming and like base building stuff. I get to do like the base building stuff, which I really love, and also like the adventuring and like fighting monsters stuff too. And like I also just like watching numbers go up, right, and building bigger and better things. And so like that's like one of my favorite types of games. And early on, I think Maz and I kind of had like a similar like idea for like Swords of Magic going in that direction, but ultimately we decided against it because it was an RPG and we didn't want to like let players build bases everywhere, because it just was going to become a huge headache with like building like towns and stuff. So anyway, what we basically came down to is like, I decided that if Power World could make a new game, even with Craftopia still in early access, and get away with making millions of dollars, and not really getting hate for that, then I don't know why I'm like so worried about it, because that was like one of my big concerns is like, we already have Swords and Magic in early access. I don't know if we should release another game because we're going to get a bunch of hate. And so like the goal was like, let's just make a really tiny game and we can be like, oh yeah, it was just a side project for fun, don't worry about it, it's just to make a few bucks, whatever. And so I've decided like the ideal game would be a survival game that uses the base mechanics of Swords and Magic. So one, we have like an audience already to market to that like is excited about Swords and Magic and would probably buy this game. And two, it puts a fresh spin on survival games because it's going to be casual like Swords and Magic is, and it's going to be like, you know, the same art style, so it'll be definitely a unique looking survival game. And I also love the idea of like a prequel kind of game where you play as like the ancient like star children who like first inhabited Tirowin before it was called Tirowin. And so like that's kind of the premise, is like you're building a civilization. And then at last stream we talked about it a lot, and we were like kind of brainstorming ideas and to see if it was like something we wanted to like stick with. And I think what we kind of narrowed it down to is it's like a survival city builder game, not necessarily base building. It is base building, but it's like city builder. We decided that it's going to be like you're growing a civilization, so you're building buildings, labeling them as whatever you want them to be, and then like NPCs will move in and like do those jobs, and you're like just building up a big community, and it's going to be multiplayer and everything. Because yeah, and then we were like, so I started looking at a few streams ago, we were looking at like blueprint plugins and stuff, things that would like make development of this like really easy. And I just didn't like any of them, and they all felt a little janky to me. And I just like all the ones that had like demos and stuff, I was just like, I don't like how this feels. I don't like how this combat system feels, or I don't like how this like base building feels. And I just wasn't a big fan of it. And I thought it just gonna be too much work to like make them feel how I want them to feel. And so I might as well just do them from scratch. And then Jana was like, why don't we just build it off of like the back of Swords and Magic? Because we already have all the systems in place that you want. Like we already have outfits, we already have weapons, we have combat, we have enemies, like we have AI, like everything is already there for like the basics of the system. We just have to like add on top of that and make a new map that you can explore and like build everywhere. And I was like, you know, that would be the fastest and cheapest route to go. So we decided we're just gonna try it and see what happens. So that's what we're doing. We're gonna try it. It's not becoming like the full-time project right now. We're just kind of toying with it still. We're gonna get kind of like, my goal is just kind of like to prototype to see if it's even like fun to just be able to like run around and like harvest things and build to start off with, and then we'll go from there and see if it's something we want to keep working on. So it's definitely not set in stone. I'm not making any like channels on the Discord or that yet. I'm not going to make a Steam page for it or anything like that yet. So we're just kind of playing with it. So people are always hungry for new iterations on that genre. Yeah, and so I don't know, I just think this works out really well, and this is a good idea. Doing good, stumbled across your stream. Thought it might as well support a fellow game dev person. Thanks, Felly, appreciate it. Sorry I didn't respond for a while. I get into tangents and I miss chat. Anyway, so yeah, this is the base. It looks like we fixed up redirectors just fine. Let's see. I don't think that's gonna fix the hotbar problem, but like we can take a look. Yeah, so it didn't fix that, but we did fix up redirectors. We did not crash. That's actually pretty surprising. Do we look at the hotbar? It's not hotbar. Real equip panel. Inventory hotbar slot. So it's this that's causing problems. Not really sure why. I spent like a whole day like getting this working because I duplicated the project and then renamed it, and renaming everything has definitely broken stuff. It's really interesting this is not working. I don't know why. These guys are showing like the right click to use. So I'm surprised that these are not showing up correctly. These are just actually, hold on, let's see if there's, so these are broken too. Okay, so it's whatever is going on here. All right, well, we'll deal with that another day. That's not really a big deal right now. So yeah, what's the first step here? I guess we need like a new map to like, I mean like we could test in this map, but like we already know all the mechanics are working as far as like this kind of stuff goes. I guess like the first thing we need to do that's like the biggest change is we need trees like choppable, like actual trees. I don't think we should just do like logs like spread out anymore. Yeah, I did complete the Faebruary thing. I already closed it, but I just made a sword. I just made a basic like knight sword that'll work really well with the knight character that I've been working on. So it came out pretty good. It wasn't anything crazy, but yeah, it worked. Oh, that's broken. Great. So loot is broken. I'm a little nervous. I think we're gonna run into more and more problems. But you know what? The loot component really doesn't need to work for chests because we're not gonna have chests. And that's another weird thing that I keep running into is like in Enshrouded you find like chests all over the place, right? And you pop them open and get loot out of them, and that's cool. We're not gonna have that in Swords and in this game. Sorry, in Swords and Magic we have it. We're not gonna have it in this game because you're the first people, the first like intelligent species in this planet or on this planet. So there's not going to be anything made before you. You're building everything for the first time. Love devs supporting devs. Same. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. So we don't really need the chests. There's actually a lot of stuff we don't need. Like for example, we're thinking about doing, actually, let me get your opinion on this. So if we're going to do like building houses that people can move into, would you guys rather see specific like handmade NPCs like we do in Swords and Magic where people just like, oh cool, I got Zarya, for example, in my house. And then other players can meet Zarya too if they move into their city or whatever, and have like, I don't know, 50 of them, whatever, 100 of them, I don't know what we need. And like they're all specific, right? All unique, and they all have like their own like traits and quirks and like names and stuff. And we could even do like maybe romance or friendship options or something, maybe feature creep down the road, who knows? Or would you rather see just like procedurally generated NPCs? So you like build a blacksmith, and a blacksmith, like generic blacksmith, like spawns with like a random name. Phone system. Hey, what's up, Matt? Gems under piles of innocuous dirt. Yeah, we could do something like that. We could definitely do things like that. Like there's gonna be mining, so we can definitely do dirt piles and stuff, and we can do gems. But we can't do things like, oh, this is an ancient artifact. Oh, this is this thing or that thing or whatever. Like, we're not going to have things like that. So everything you can equip on your character is going to be like crafted by you, which is weird. I do think we should have like NPCs scattered around the world who have like kind of built up, like maybe they have like a shop or whatever. Cause like they're like, right now the idea is because you're like Star Children, or we're calling them Novakin, which is very similar to Dovahkiin and Nova Kids from Starbound, and it's kind of a mix between the two, which is kind of perfect. So we might just stick with that. If you have better ideas for the race name for like the Star people, let me know. I don't like Star Children. It's too kiss. You know what I mean? Like I don't think we should do like I don't know. If NPCs are scattered around, they could absolutely have died in a cave and dropped a bag / container with goodies. That's true. That is true. I like the idea that you're like, there's like a big meteorite or something, or meteor, and it's broken into pieces, and there's like magic or something or whatever, and like when it hits the ground, like that energy like bursts into a star child or a Novakin or whatever, right? And so you're being born from like these meteorites that are just like falling from the astral realm, right? Which is space basically. And then the plan is that everyone, like, you're drawn to the astral realm, and so you have like this inherent idea to like build a portal to get there, to go back there or whatever, or like to just be able to be there. There's a couple ideas. One is maybe this is just how the Novakin are created. They just like land on other planets, and then they have like this inherent urge for whatever reason, magic, whatever, to go to the astral realm where they all meet up, and like that's where their civilization like thrives. Or you're escaping something and everybody landed there. Sounds like the show 100. Yeah. Oh yeah, nothing like 100. So it sounds to me like Superman. I think it's Superman, right? So another idea is maybe you were escaping something, like Ryu just said. Except Ryu can't hear me because he's not subbed, and there's an ad going on right now. In games like Enshrouded, is exploration fun, like in Valheim? Are there fun things to try and discover? Will your game have this sort of exploration? I'd love to answer you, Shablo, but I'm pretty sure you also have an ad. Ryan, DMing you on Discord, you should be able to get the domain in 1 click. 1 click? Hot damn, 1 click. I can hear you, don't have ads. Okay, oh, you guys won't. Why do I have an ad break in progress thing on Twitch then? It's like yelling at me. Okay, whatever. Do me a favor. If you guys do get an ad, just let me know so I know when there's an ad. I'm just gonna keep talking through the ads to you like there isn't one. Anyway, so in Enshrouded, there's a lot of exploration, and it's actually really fun because it's like a post-apocalyptic fantasy world. So there's lots of like ruins and castles and stuff to discover and explore. There's lots of stuff to explore, and so the exploration is actually really fun. I like exploration a lot in Enshrouded. Valheim, not so much, because sometimes there's like empty buildings and stuff, but it's not like as much. And then again, it's early access. I haven't played the game in a long time. Actually, I think they hit 1.0, but I haven't played it in a long time, at least, and I've never got like past like the first couple like biomes. What about Star Souls instead of Star Children? I don't like the term soul very much, but we could do Star Spirits. I'm okay with spirit for some reason. I don't like souls very much. I think it has some implications. Sounds like a new age Christian theory where all of us have soul contracts from the universe. Yeah. See, that might be part of it. That might be part of the reason I don't like it. I just don't like implying religion and things like that in games because I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea and like feel like they can't play the game because of that reason, right? I'd rather it just be like very generic so people of all beliefs and backgrounds and heritages and stuff like that can play the game. I don't want to like criticize anybody. Anyway, so another idea is we have, so in the lore, in Swords of Magic, in the Astral Forge, there's a book in there that talks about the Shade, and the Shade is like this like looming threat that's like growing stronger and stronger and like multiplying and like consuming the world, right? And eventually something happens and the Star Children or whatever, the Novakin, whatever, just are gone. They're just gone. And they never leave. There's like no other like traces of their civilization other than like what they've already had. You know what I mean? Like they just like disappear. And so my idea was always like they figured out how to go to the astral realm. They built a portal and they got there, right? The portal's in the farmlands. That's how they left. They all have fled through that portal to the astral realm. And then they built civilizations there. And there are ruins in the astral realm. So people did live there also at one point. And then there was another idea where if you go far enough into the astral realm, you will find their like kingdom and their civilization and they're still living there, right? Astral adults. Perfect. The astrals. I don't know. That sounds kind of weird. Maybe. So there's one idea where maybe the original Novakin were in the astral realm and they fled somehow on a meteorite. I don't know. It doesn't matter. They were fleeing the Shade who were chasing them, right? And they found Tyrowin and they were like, cool, we're safe here. Let's build our place again. So that could be like you're fleeing and then you're like now building up a new civilization on Tyrowin. And then maybe after that game ends at some point, the Shade finds you there too and tries to like consume you. Maybe the Shade's just chasing you. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe the Shade's just consuming everything. That's kind of like that's the thing right now is like the Shade is sort of like the big evil from, what is that show? What am I thinking of? Is it Marvel where there's just like a big monster thing that's just like consuming the universe? No, it's something else. It's something. I didn't come up with that. It's somewhere else. But that could be like what the Shade is doing. It's just big corruption that's just feeding off everything else, and it's like you're running from it. So there's that possibility, or there's the possibility that the Shade discovers you after you're born on Tyrowin, and this could be the first of your race. Who knows? Like this could be the first like hint of civilization in the known universe. You know, this is like you're just born from all this energy that hits the ground suddenly. Who knows? And then the shade will show up eventually, and that'll be like the big bad in the survival game. I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities here, and really none of that is important right now. So, I feel like we need like some goals here. Because technically we don't even need trees harvestable right now, or technically we could have them harvestable right now, and we could still like have this game running. So what if we just make a new map? Let's make a new level. We'll make an empty level. Let's save it. And we're gonna put this. See, we have a ton of levels and stuff. I don't know what we're gonna call this. Just gonna make a start builds folder, I guess. I don't know. We're probably gonna end up going through and like just deleting so much stuff out of this project if we're gonna keep doing this. We're gonna call this main play map. Actually, we'll call it map underscore main. That's fine. We'll just call it map main. You could leverage the shade to produce interesting encounters / events in the world that will make exploration fun. Yeah. Something between realms. Yeah. Let's put in tier 1 lighting. I think it's day night. We need a day night cycle. Okay. And then we need what else is there? Tier 1 zone manager. Let's do terrain. Need audio. I guess we need the ocean. I'm actually thinking about like changing a lot of the world, and and this is gonna sound insane. I know this sounds like a terrible idea, and you're gonna say like, why would you do that? But I think we might need to make the world bigger. And I know that sounds horrifying because the world's already big enough. We can't fill it up as it is in Swords and Magic. But the reason being is because Swords and Magic is full of stuff to do. And this game world is not going to be full of stuff to do. It's going to be full of like nothing, right? And so if you're like just traveling between zones on a mount, if there's nothing to stop you from going to the next zone other than just like, you know, harder enemies, stuff you can't mine and harvest yet because you need a better pickaxe, whatever. Which is another thing I think we should definitely lock harvesting behind pickaxes or whatever, or like tools. But like if there's nothing to stop you from going from like let's say we spawn players in the farmlands, right? If there's nothing to stop you from going and exploring Windless Woods right away, and there's not gonna be, then like the world map is gonna be really small. Like I can just run to the next zone pretty fast. What is your game mode? What do you mean, what is my game mode? Gameforge. Why would you do that? Anyway, so yeah, if we have larger world, then it'll feel a little more like I think we just need a larger world to like go explore, even though there's not, I don't know, because like now I'm a little torn too, because it's like there's not going to be a whole lot of interesting stuff in the world, you know? I don't know. We're probably going to level a lot of this. Like we might just keep this stuff to be here, like to start off, like to get the game functional. Because like the biggest part's going to be like making sure you can just like build stuff, and like we're probably going to overhaul the crafting system a little bit. I kind of want to do like crafting like on your person, so you can just like craft in your menu for like basic things. Do we do durability on tools this time around? I don't know. How fast will mounts be obtainable? That also plays a part. Yeah, that's a good question. How are we going to get mounts? Because right now you buy them in Swords and Magic. How do you get mounts in this game? Are we even going to have... We don't have to have mounts. We could just not have mounts. or make them like an end game thing, and then we could just make the world smaller still. Monsters / animals, if you lean into the fantasy aspect, could be like semi-intelligent animals, like Don't Starve has those pigs. So I thought about that because someone asked, "Are we gonna have goblins still?" I think it was Jana, and my first thought was like, well, no, because they're like a intelligent civilized like species, and they would have been around for thousands of years, so they would have evolved and like got smarter, right, over the years, and they're still very dumb in swords and magic, and like they barely know how to build like huts, right? And I'm like, we could do that. Like, we could just have goblins and other like, you know, creatures that are just not intelligent but are like sentient. But I don't know. Or make horses out of blocks. So if you're like, we're gonna be Novakin ideally, which means we could technically have magic, right? And they could like summon celestial steeds and stuff, right? We could do that stuff. And we could have like astral horses or whatever they can just summon or whatever. The original idea for the astral magic and swords magic was you have like constellations going on in the sky, and you could like go to like places of power or whatever and like interact with them, and based on the constellation or whatever, maybe there's just a location, you would get like a buff for that, and the buff, you'd get a buff for like a full day or something, and then like the next day you could go find a different one or whatever. And it would either be based on the constellation or it would just be like whatever. And I don't think I want to do that in this game, but we could have places of power where you like unlock spells, and that could be like how magic comes about. Because I do want to do spells, I want to do stabs and stuff, but I think it needs to be different than it is in Swords and Magic, because all that is crafted from shards. And the Shardlands will be here. Well, actually, the Shardlands don't have to be here yet, because the Shardlands also came from space. There's a lot of space stuff in Swords and Magic that doesn't make any sense. Not that it doesn't make any sense, it's just like, space is like a weird thing in fantasy games, because it's like, wait, are we branching into sci-fi? Like sci-fi? Like what's the deal with space, you know? But it's like, it still exists, like even in a fantasy world that's based on like our universe, like it still exists. There's still space. So there's still like the laws of the universe still exist. Things can come out of space, like, and hit a planet. But that's where the shards came from, is it's just a big magic shard that just like big thing that you don't understand. And of course, magic is indistinguishable from like technology you don't, or sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic, right? That's the whole, I don't remember who said that, but someone said that. So like, really, like the shards are just technology. They're just, you know, so advanced that we call it magic. And that's the same thing here. So someone found the shards, they learned to do magic with the shards. That's how we got spell books. So if we don't have spell books, then how do we do magic? And I think we could probably learn spells through places of power, or like something like that, where we, okay, so we have anchor shrines, right? Where's the zone manager? Because that's where the anchor shrines are, I think. Right? Yeah. So these anchor shrines, and these were built by the Novakin thousands of years ago, right? And this like spirit thing, actually, these weren't built by the Novakin, or they could have been, I guess, but this is spirit magic. I forgot about this. I forgot that this was a different thing. I don't know why, but I did. Maybe they discovered spirit magic. Maybe spirit magic, I don't know. Maybe we just, I don't know. God's dropping goodies. Yeah, it could be something like that. The lore runs wild in Swords Magic. It really does. There's a lot of lore that like players don't know about because it's like not written anywhere. It's just in my head. Which is like, is it really a lore if it's just sitting in my head? I don't know. But yeah, I don't know, because yeah, this was initially supposed to be spirit magic. We could just, I mean, it can just be, it's astro magic. We can just call it astro magic. It doesn't really matter, right? Or, you know, spirit magic could just be part of it. Who knows? But yeah, if we're gonna do this, That means we have to have the spirit realm, which obviously always existed. So it's not like someone came around and made the spirit realm. Could be interesting. Could be interesting to have like spirit magic and astro magic as like the two main types of magic in the game. Or we just don't do that. We just have the one. So will the ruins not be ruins in this game? Or is this even before then? It's before then. There won't be ruins. I don't think there's gonna be like anything. Oh, I'm behind. Let me catch up. Sorry. But yeah, there shouldn't be ruins. I don't really think there's gonna be like any sort of structures you discover other than like anything that like your people have built already that you might run into. But it's not, you're not gonna run into like towns. There's not gonna be any cities. Like there's not gonna be any like real like signs of civilization. In fact, the original idea was like, what if you just explore the world and discover the Novakin, like other people that have been born, and that's the whole goal. Is like, oh, you need to go find the others, you know, whatever, and then bring them back to your town, which is how the Lego Survivor game does, or the Lego Fortnite game does it, and kind of basically how Enshrouded does it. Enshrouded just has like 5 people. I don't know how many people are in the Lego one, so we could just steal that idea, and then like that's how you discover them, and then you build houses for them. So it could be like, if you don't have a house, they won't come back to town with you. Like you have to have a house like set for them and come back to town. They'll just move into a random house. That could work. You could theoretically say the meteor shower is ongoing, always ongoing. Maybe that's the spawning mechanic for both players and NPCs. And you'll be running around and a pig will spawn out of existence from a stray meteor nearby. We could. I like the idea. You know, it could be interesting if you die and then you do just like spawn back from a meteor again, and then you have to go get your loot, your stuff, instead of doing the anchor shrines. The question is like, where do you spawn then? Like, I think players are gonna get really frustrated if you die and then respawn back at like back in the beginning of the game, right? Because like you shouldn't be able to have any control over where meteorites spawn. Anyway, so yeah, there shouldn't be any ruins because there's no people before you. The answer is magic. Just put whatever you want in and say nothing. You'll also need to revamp a certain area of the map into the Shardlands. Well, I thought about that map, but like I said, if the Shardlands just came from space, they could have come after this. And if the Shardlands show up before and you discovered them as the Novakin, why would you not have like discovered how magic works and like use those shards? Unless there was a good reason for it. Like, you know, you didn't want to cause a giant mage war or something. So I don't actually think the Shardlands should be there. You know, now that I think about it, I don't know if we should have the Shardlands there. So one big problem. If the world is handcrafted. Okay, wait, how does Ark get around this? Ark has a handcrafted world with no other civilization. There's no civilization in the world. It's all just empty. It's just empty, right? Like, unique areas are just there. They're just cool handcrafted like areas. Maybe part of the game is learning to read the meteor, predict where something will happen, then travel to that spot, and a particularly dense meteor hits and spawns monsters resources. That could be cool. We can definitely still have the meteorites like we do now, and they could sometime like it'd be kind of neat if the meteors spawned and you could see them spawn, and then you know, oh, there's another NPC out there. Like maybe every time like an NPC moves in, like a certain amount of time afterward, like you can see a meteor spawn, and maybe we like even draw it to like the player's attention and be like, oh, a meteor has spawned, like here's the marker on the map or whatever, so you can see where they've spawned. That way you don't lose them if you miss it. That could be kind of cool if that's how like new NPCs are spawned, and then you have to go find them. So that way we could like fully control over like exactly like that pulls the player to the next location. That could be kind of cool. Or we could just set up where the NPCs are, make players explore to discover them. And then we use the meteorites to just spawn astral dust. Stardust stuff and meteorites. Or meteorite shards, I mean. I don't know. I'm kind of okay either way. Okay, I think the first we need to do is modify our building system. Let's just spawn the player here. Let's just do we have a player start? We don't. What? Oh yeah, we need audio. We have an ocean now. There's a tier in water. I don't know what's in tier in water. Apparently rivers? Tier in water is a big level, apparently. It's taking a while to load. Oh, Gameforge, I'm sorry I missed your stuff. Like, what are you trying to do? Oh, I see. Because I just joined. Didn't get the part why you wanted to change the map. Yeah, Gameforge, if you're still here, I'm sorry, I was distracted. This is a new game. It's a new game that I'm building on top of Swords and Magic because all of the base mechanics would be pretty much the same. So we're just experimenting with like building a new game on top of Swords and Magic. Matt, yes, Jesus donated most of it. So, yep. How did that work in Subnautica 2? I played Subnautica 2, but I don't remember meteor showers. Prestige. Why is it taking so long? I think they're just like, okay, just not touching anything. Anyway, yeah, so the idea is we take all like the base mechanics from Swords and Magic and we rebuild the map and rebuild the mechanics that we need to get where we want, because I was already looking into like how to build out a lot of these systems. Like I know how to build these systems like from scratch, no big deal. It just take a long time. Like that's like 3 or 4 months worth of work to like build out a combat system, build out a building system, like do all those things. It's just gonna be a lot of work. And so I was looking into like plug-in solutions to make this development like faster, just because I want to get a game out faster, like everyone does. And I'm a big fan of like taking the shortest route possible, if possible, right? And so I was looking at that and I was like, well, the fastest route to get this done is basically to use the systems I've already built. Like we've already built, we already own, we already have access to. I don't have to spend any money. I don't have to worry about refactoring and fixing things that I don't like in like other like blueprint solutions I might download or whatever. And so I just decided let's try that. So we're just trying that first. Okay, water has oceans. Oh, interesting. All the oceans are in pieces in this level. Oh, I think I remember this. I think I remember this being like really bad on performance, because each one of these is a blueprint, and we ended up deciding this was like really expensive. We're down to 30 frames per second. I'm guessing it's because of this level. Let's delete this level. 100 frames per second. Damn, I'm glad we figured that out early on. Okay, we're at 120 frames per second. If we can keep this at 120 frames per second, I'll be pretty happy. And I think we will, because until players start building massive structures, we're not going to see any performance issues. Like, we're going to have like AI spawners, but like that'll be it, right? They removed it during development, but it was so cool in the demo, mostly just a meteor storm, so you had to go pick a new base after exploring the spawn base. Oh, I see. I feel like it has potential to be such a sick mechanic, though. Oh, like you just have like a meteor storm with like just meteorites like falling around you? It could be kind of cool. I was getting notifications. I don't know what was. Okay. Yeah, I think any mechanic that forces you to go rebuild a new base somewhere else is kind of problematic in games like this. Okay, so we don't need zone bounds anymore for these different locations. At least not Moonberry Farms or Sleepy Haven, because those aren't gonna exist. Goodbye, Sleepy Haven. Goodbye, Cemetery. I don't know if we're gonna have like. I think we're gonna have to name different locations. I don't know if I'm gonna name them the same as they're named in Swords and Magic though. Like if you go to Windless Woods, I don't think we're gonna call it Windless Woods because it wouldn't be called that back then. And so I think we should name them things that the Novakin would have called them. And I know I keep saying Novakin because I think that's what it's stuck now. I think it's stuck. I was thinking in a co-op game, you'd be out doing something and your friends would be like, get back to base, we've got to go chase down that meteor. That'd be cool. So hear me out. The Shardland has a directive to populate new worlds. So they send out the revive station so that spirits can start to flow in. The world you're on now has meteor strikes that happen at a timed event. You need to gather supplies and build a defense system before the first strike. You spend your journey crafting and gathering, eventually trying to develop technology so that you can stop meteors altogether. That's interesting. I don't love it because I don't like the defensive part of it really. Mostly just because last stream we I think we just kind of all buckled down and decided that like the base building, like the civilization building aspect was like we really liked. And when I told Jana about it, she loved it. Jana really loves city builders, and I think if we go like, here's the thing, Ryu, I know that I was kind of like not very receptive to your point of like, well, how is your game going to stand out last time when we brought that up. And I apologize for that because when I started thinking about it, I was thinking, you know, that's actually a really good point, and we need to stand out in some way, and your solution would work to stand out. I think. I think it would, but I think what I'd like to do is I think if we market this as like it's a survival city builder game, that would be kind of a big deal, right? Like that's way different than like other survival games people have played. So I think I kind of like that a lot, and Jana liked it a lot. And if Jana likes it a lot, then it means that, you know, she's on board for it, and I like that. So yeah, I'm kind of really into the whole. I'm trying to select through this, but it's not letting me. So yeah, I like the idea that we are building towns in order to grow our civilization and just like inhabit the world. Like we're just settling here. I struggled with the names because I wasn't sure if I want to do like something with settlers. So I like the idea of like Starlight Settlers too. The problem with settlers is I think it has a little bit of implication in like the board game scene. And it's also a little bit hard to pronounce. Like it doesn't roll off your tongue as much as like Starlight Builders does. Starlight Settlers is already like, people say settlers, they say settlers. Like it just doesn't feel as like smooth when you say it. Not that Settlers of Catan has ever had any problem marketing. More golems, please. To take a page out of Warcraft 3 and have meteors that are actually big golem enemies. That'd be cool. Yeah, they could easily spawn the golems. But yeah, right, I like the idea. And I do like the idea that like maybe this is just how like every species has like a way to like reproduce, right? And it would be kind of cool if like the Novakin are just born from like this like big chunk of like, I don't know, like this living thing that just like sheds off like layers or whatever, and then they just fly through space until they hit something, and then they're just born onto a species. Like I know that's like, I don't think we need to explain all of that, but I kind of like that idea that like there's not really a rhyme or reason. It's just a species out there that's like reproducing, right? They just are just looking for habitable planets, and they don't need to like breathe or anything because they're like made of astral energy or whatever. So it's just like, I don't know, I kind of like that idea a lot. My stomach is growling, so it must be lunchtime. Anyway, yeah, I think we're just gonna kind of like level all of this. I don't know, this can be a lot of work if we like want to start from this. I'm kind of tempted to just like get rid of the terrain level and just like do our own thing. This has all of our mountains in it. Well, let's figure out how to start the player off, I guess. Because I don't know how to do that yet. We'll just start the player here in this little farm. Or this little what's this called? Corral? Corral. So what level is that in? Like we can probably just hold on. Can we just put like a player start there? Oh yeah, I guess we also need to like figure out the whole like start menu and everything too, but that can be another day. Let's just put a player start in and see what happens. What am I looking for? Place actors. Okay, I have a new idea. Instead of doing that, let's make all of these always loaded so we don't just spawn into like the void. Okay, so we're not spawning as a player because we are not set up with the correct game mode. World settings, select game mode. I assume it's this one. No way. Yeah, okay. So, oh, it should probably just be BP game mode. Grid manager not found. Okay, cool. All right, we have a character. That's good. Okay, and we have music. We need totally new music for this though. I actually think we should go the Minecraft route, which is what Swords Magic was supposed to do in the beginning, where we just have music play like every once in a while. Because I don't think we need like adventure music playing 24/7. Like it's not an adventure game anymore. It's not an RPG. It's a base building game. Okay, so maybe we just take out the music manager for now. Let's just take that out. Audio, or actually, let's just audio manager, music playlist, delete it. We have all these zone triggers. Like we're not doing the astral. We might actually have the astral plane, astral realm, whatever, but we're gonna change how that works. So I guess that can stay there. We should just have chirping sounds. Cool, much better. Okay, grid manager. We don't have a level for the grid manager, so where is the grid manager kept? I assumed we can I guess we'll just put the grid manager in here. Hold on. Okay, no more yelling. Error access none. Init DLC mail. I think that'll be fine. I don't think we need to worry about DLC mail in this game. I don't think we need to worry about a mail system in this game for quite a while. That'll be a nice feature creep. Okay, so building. We need a building thing, and yeah, let's just start there, I guess. We need to make sure that the Rama save is working too. That's another thing I'm worried about. I don't know if the save system's been working. Let's go. What is it called? Placeable or something? Proxy. Something proxy. Placeable proxy. This blueprint handles where we can build. Where? Okay, so we need to design this a little bit. Originally, I was thinking we just build wherever you want, and we'll just have zones or areas if we want, like special locations where you cannot build. But then we talked about how we should do like the housing thing where you can like place down, like you craft and like place down like a housing sign or whatever, and then you like choose what that's gonna be. And that'll give you like a zone, like you can see like a zone where you like place it down, and then in that zone, that's where you build the structure you want to build. Do you guys think we should do all of our building like that, or should we just have free building everywhere? And then we have those zones for specific like structures you're trying to build. Because technically you could just like build a house and then like learn those, like make those zones, and then you could just like place it down, and it would just like encompass the house you just built, whatever, and then you just see a checklist of the things you have like left to build. Okay, good answer. Glad you guys agree that we don't, no one knows how to do it. It's funny they caused problems in April of 22, and then in November of 23, we figured out those problems and we reverted them. It was like a year and a half we went with like bad rotational snapping. Anyway, this is all snapping stuff. We need to go to event graph, I think. Oh, maybe not. There's like a can place. Check place type. Debug placement check. That's not it. No overlaps. Is within plot. This is going to be a bit of a problem. Okay, we also need to think about this too, because if we're going to build things, we need to figure out if we're putting out a whole bunch of static meshes, how do we handle, because we can't just have a whole bunch of blueprints. We can't just have like thousands of blueprints in the world. Can we now? I guess we can now. Now that we don't already have thousands of blueprints. I'm asking ChatGPT if that's okay. You know, we could make them all static meshes we place. That won't work, actually. I think we have to do the instant static mesh thing. The question is, how do we do it? Because I don't know if it's a good idea to have like one blueprint that just like grabs all meshes and just makes them all instant. UE5's lightweight instances would be so useful for this project. I don't know if it's worth the effort to backport that feature though. The static mesh actors have tags. Might work if so. They can have tags. The problem is I don't know if I can save their location. I think I have to have a blueprint actor to save the location of it for Rama save, which I'm planning on using again. You know, if we start gutting features that we don't need, we might be able to actually move this to UE5 and get it to compile. It depends on like where, I don't know, because we're gonna need AI, and I know the AI is probably getting somewhere in the loop of the dependency chain that's causing problems. Yeah, static mesh actors can have tags. So I drag out this static mesh, I can add an actor tag to it. Actor tag. This can have tags. They can't have gameplay tags, but they can have actor tags. So I could just like, when you drop things, it could just be converted into a static mesh, because then like that's way cheaper than having a blueprint actor sitting there. But then I can't like, obviously like things that are interactable, doors, beds, things like that will be, you know, blueprints. One manager is better than 1,000 blueprints, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. So if we have one, well, we could do region-based managers, so we have like multiples of them. This is why like I wonder if we should like claim property, because in Enshrouded you put down like a fired shrine thing, right? And then it like gives you an area around it you can build, and you can like upgrade that building's look like that size, and then everything in there will become like dependent on that shrine. So that shrine kind of like does the anchoring, you know what I mean? And that can handle all the instant static meshes in there. So you place a building down, it'll just like say, oh, is this within a shrine area? It is, great. Then like spawn this if it's a blueprint. Otherwise, if it's just like a static mesh, then let's just make an instant static mesh of this fire shrine blueprint. We could do that. And then it like, that also means in a multiplayer game, you can kind of claim your town, right? I kind of think we should have like an NPC that like you spawn near to like give you some tutorial-esque kind of like guidance early on. I really like this area for the spawn though. Like obviously we need to clean up a ton of like stuff around here. Like the garden, like the guide in Terraria. Yeah. I mean, we could do something unique too though. Like it doesn't have to be an NPC. We could have like, maybe there's like, ooh, here's an idea. What if, maybe it's not a good idea. I was gonna say maybe like every Novakin has like a guardian, a starlight guardian, right? And they're just like a little glowy starlight orb, right? They're made of starlight. Maybe that's where the name comes from, right? And then like you like can talk to it. Like maybe that's like the tutorial. We could kind of like use it like the crow in Valheim, right? Like we could have it fly over to like certain locations to like have you do things there, you know, put a little exclamation point over his head or whatever. And then when you walk walk close to it, then it can just like trigger dialogue or something. That could be kind of cool, because then we can have like everyone can have their own little like tutorial, and we don't have to worry about the NPC standing there. and then you have like a little that you would have like a little guide, right? Like this, like the starlight could be your guide, and like that could be like that could be interesting. How do you guys feel about that? Make the tutorial NPC be the ghost of a man that didn't listen to the tutorial. I like your idea better. You like the starlight idea better? I like how Lego Fortnite did it with the NPC. Which NPC? I can't remember which one it was now. I did play Lego Fortnite for a little while. I don't remember the first NPC you find. Was it the girl at the campfire? Or was it a different one? Yeah, I kind of like it too. Because like the first NPC you could find could just be like your village elder, right? Like that could just be like you have the first person. Cuddle team leader. It was a pink bear, I think. Oh, okay. So like yeah, like your first NPC could just be like your village elder, and then it's just like there. And he could just be like, first we need shelter or whatever, right? And then you could just build him his first house. Or you could like, he could be like, first we need shelter, and then like once you've built the basic things he like teaches you to build or whatever, then he could be like, I don't mean to trouble you, but do you think you could build me a house, right? And then you just build him a little house, and that could be like your first like little quest thing, and then that teaches you like how to build a house, how to like claim it as like an NPC structure or whatever, how the checklist system works, and then you're pretty much off to the races from there, right? Like you've got the rest. The only other thing is like, and I guess he can just be like, now you have to go hunt down some wolves to get some hide or whatever, right? And he'll be like, here, don't forget to craft yourself a weapon, you know? I don't mean to trouble you, but this house sucks. Can you go mine some stone or something? Yeah. I kind of love that. I kind of like the NPC. The starlight thing is cool. It's a little complicated. It gives us like a reason to name the game that, which is kind of neat. And maybe we could still do something like that later. Like maybe we just like maybe the shrines you unlock to like the anchor shrines, whatever, or they're called like starlight something. I don't know. Like they're gonna be called anchor shrines, but like I don't think you should be able to build like anchor shrines wherever you want, right? So we need to place them in certain locations. So my idea was we'll have like what's the thing called? We don't have like a this. Not necessarily this, but like how this has like stuff coming out of it. We could have something like this with like the ground is kind of like jutted up or whatever, and then have like magical like starlight power or something. It doesn't matter. Something coming out of it, right? And that could be like a place of power or like a ley line or something, right? And like when you find that, then you can build one of these over that place, right? And that's what powers it. And then that's where then you can respawn there. Maybe these can actually make it so you can build in the area as well. Like maybe you can only build within a certain vicinity of these because like reasons. Starlight shrines. Yeah, we could technically call them whatever we want because like everything will have been renamed by the civilizations to come, right? Okay, well let's just I don't know. Yeah, I guess we need to figure this out. I want to just make building work, but I also want to make sure that like this makes sense. 100 cursors. What? All right, I think we should just I think we should let players like place down like a starlight monolith or something. I don't know. Some sort of like thing that becomes like the base of your town. Actually, the name of the things, kindred cursors. Oh, Steamy life holes. Oh yeah, steamy life holes is like, hey, imagine the village elders just like, you have to seek out the steamy life holes, and that's where we can build anchor shrines. That's great. Okay, so let's make a placeable thing. So I guess we need like almost like a housing plot. Oh, we're gonna have to refactor a little bit of stuff for this building, which is fine. Like we're expecting to do work, right? It's not just gonna be like plug and play. Like here we go, we have a game. So when we look like the proxy, for example, where is this like stupid thing I'm looking for? Place prop, set building location, check placeable type. Maybe this isn't what I'm looking for. Maybe this isn't the right blueprint. Oh, this is it. This is what I was looking for. Check place type. I think this is where we like determine if we're like placing in a plot, overlapping housing plot. Oh, we did that before, I guess. So let's find where the housing plot is found, because we're gonna have to do this because we need like whatever this housing plot is what we're gonna have to place the thing down, because that'll basically be your housing plot. I don't know, man. You know, the thing is, like, Arc doesn't do this. Arc doesn't make you like place a thing down. You can just build wherever you want. Do we want to give players that much freedom? What do you guys think? Would you rather just be able to place things wherever you want, or should you have to place down like an anchor thing, like to like build around that? If you can build wherever you want, players are just going to build like towers and stuff to like climb over mountains and like get into like locations that, you know, they want to get to, or they're not supposed to be, whatever. And I think that's fine. Wherever you want, the anchor is enshrouded. It annoys me to no end. Okay. So we don't need to worry about any of this, pretty much. All of this just goes to here. That's all the anchor stuff. Check in place, debug placement check, check placement type. Debug placement check. This should just be doing a line trace to the ground. There's gonna be some things that you can't place on the ground, or you have to place on the ground. You can't place on top of other things, which I think is fine. Maybe we'll see. Probably. Should we have fast travel? I'm kind of fine with it if we want to do that. I don't mind the fast travel thing, just because like there's not a whole lot to like discover as you're running around the world. In Swords of Magic, like every time you run back and forth between one area to the other one, you could technically like stumble across a new thing, right? Not every time, but like you could. But in this game, there's not going to be a lot of stuff to discover. Like this. So Swords of Magic is all about the joy of discovery. This game is the joy of building. Like this is going to be all about like creativity and like building cool stuff. So we're going to need like a ton of like building blocks and stuff. And that's fine. That's what I want. That's why I want to like do this. Okay, so we don't need to worry about building block. We don't care if it's floating. Okay, that's all fine. And then right here, we don't need to worry about this. This is just like, do we have building permissions? So keep that in mind. If we're doing multiplayer and we don't, and they have like full freedom to build wherever you want, when a player builds somewhere, if someone else comes in, they can tear down that stuff and build there, right? Or build into it or build over it or change it or whatever. There will not be any build permissions. We can do build permissions. We can do like chest permissions. Like when you place a chest down, you could like, maybe there's like an option or something we have where you can like choose who can use the chest or if it's locked or not, right? We could do, maybe we should do like a key thing where like when you interact with a chest, when you open your chest that you just placed, it's locked automatically so no one can open it but you, and then you can like spawn a key for it. And then the key will just be like the Rama ID or something, or I guess we can just generate a key, it doesn't matter. And then it'll be like an actual like physical key that you can give to a friend. They can pick it up, it'll go in their key ring or whatever, and then they can use it to open that chest. The problem is like once you've given a key, you won't be able to get it back. So there's that. And then we'll have to spawn those keys with custom IDs, which is fine. We know how to do that now. Rebuild, but you have to place something to protect your area. Okay, that's a good idea. So we could look for housing plots, basically, or housing plots, but the housing plots actually, they set up build permissions. Okay, so this right here says if there's no housing plot, we can't build this thing because it's not valid. So basically what we want to do is if there's no housing plot, it's always valid. And then the housing plot would basically be just like give the player permissions. I like that. That's better than like the key thing. I don't really want griefing, right? I don't like if we have like an official server for this, which I don't think we will at the start, but we could. In fact, I actually have a company who would probably be interested in doing that. And honestly, I bet King Perfect would be like, yeah, sure, let's do that. You know, if it meant we were advertising for their stuff again in another game. Or we could reach out to G Portal because I actually like their system. Their setup quite a bit. We could do that. Okay, let's do this. So that means we still want to look for this area right here. But we don't care if it's within a plot. Basically, we would because we'd want to check build permissions at this point. But for now, we're just going to bypass this. We'll figure that out later. Okay, so we should technically be able to build wherever we want right now. We need lots more building pieces already. So let's grab floor. Wall. Ugh. Stone wall piece. And we're obviously going to need some roof pieces and stuff now too. Oh, I got stone diagonal floor. I guess we can keep those. I just don't want to use them. We need a better icon system too for these if we're going to make this whole game about building. And also we have like this issue with like dipping into the terrain. But yeah, it looks like we can build anywhere. Oh, okay. So snapping breaks because we don't have like an overall grid. Snapping is dependent on. Oh, sorry. Snapping is dependent on the housing plot. So we're gonna have to just have like a generic grid for the whole world that you can build on. In fact, we should just have snapping on by default. Yeah, because I can't snap right now, so it's just gonna be like almost looks like this is supposed to be where it's or this is where it's gonna be. And I wonder if building from your inventory is actually not like the best way to handle this. This is perfect. This is like the best building system. Feels great. There's a snap to grid node built in. No, I know we use it. But I'm not saying that. It's the issue is that the snap to grid node that we're using is based on the housing grid. So when we do the snap rotation, the build location is probably this one. It's all going to be based on the housing grid. I bet. Check placement type, get snapped location. This one. Oh wait. I guess I can delete these since this is not even like really important for the project at all. Interesting because this is only looks like it's handling rotation. Oh, this is X and Y. Well, this should be getting, okay, so this should be getting the world rotation of itself. Let's just set this to 0 and see if this fixes it. Okay, so let's, I don't know where this is going. Let's leave this mode. Let's go to 0, 0, 0 and see if it's placing there. Yeah, obviously placed. Oh. It's snapping way above us. Why is that happening? Z actor location plus 100. Last location, last plot location. So there is no last plot location, and since this is 0, I'm guessing that's what's happening. Is it that actually? Yeah, let's see what's going on here. Is this is 0. This is the grid, so it's placing it at 0. So we just need to use last location for this too, I bet you. That's probably why. I bet it's grabbing like the bottom of the plot and then like using that to base things. So since we don't have a plot, that's 0. Snap, there it is. So that means we're not snapping in Z, we're only snapping in Y. Or in X and Y. Oh, and so yeah, because of that, we're getting weird offsets. So we need to be snapping in Z as well. We're just gonna do it based on like a generic world snapping. Okay. So this is just gonna be, I guess, 0. Well, no, we'll do last location, but we need to snap to grid is all. Which right here. Let's do 50. Or we can do this. Location snap amount. Never mind, we just use that. Okay, let's try that. Snap to grid node for global nodes. Yeah, it actually works really great for all nodes, even like non-global things, because you can set them up how you want. Okay, so, uh-oh, we're broken again. Why is that? Where'd it go? Why is this not working? Oh, I guess, oh, duh, because this is just, we need the last amount, but snapped to grid. Okay, right. The grid size is going to be this. Duh. I knew what I was doing. Obviously. Obviously, I know what I'm doing. I've done this before. Okay. So it's only gonna, yeah, so it's like goes into the ground, but then like snaps out of the ground. I think that's fine. We can probably rotate is comma. Why is rotate comma? That's not right. None of those things are working. So yeah, snapping is a little bit annoying. I think we might just have to snap. I mean, I guess this might just have to work. No, this is not gonna work. I mean, I can't. Oh, there we go. I can't rotate. Okay, actually, it might work as long as I'm like putting it on the next thing. Yeah. If I put it on the ground, it's like not. It's trying to snap to the ground there. I think we just make the, instead of 50 and 5, we just do 5 and 25 maybe, and that might make it better. Oh. We need like a foundational piece that like has the exact same height level, but then just goes deeper so it can like stick in the ground, just so we have like more thickness there. Okay, so we're off to a good start. We have our base building mechanic. I assume we can do walls. We cannot do walls. Oh, wait, can we? We can do walls, they're just, it's trying to snap too high, so we need to do 25s. Okay, let's try that. Let's just do 25 for this. It's a little, well, it's a little more forgiving, I think. You can still definitely get under the ground though. There's also going to be no like physics or anything, so I wonder if we should be concerned about that. I don't know. I don't think I want to build that system. It sounds like fun, but also it kind of sounds like a nightmare. Okay, so far so good. This feels pretty good. What about building it here? Great. Not too bad. I do wonder if we should switch to a square wall piece though. Like you can build on top of the other walls pretty easily. Like I'm so glad we got this all tweaked like recently, so I don't have to do this now. So it's pretty easy to like build a second floor or second story, whatever. Oop, I messed something up there. It's like it's no harder than other survival games, that's for sure. Or building games. In fact, I actually think the building in this game is actually a little bit better. You can build, oh maybe. A little finicky trying to build above you. Because you go a little bit too high, it breaks it. And it like gets all janky. But if I build from below, or yeah, like from above, it's really easy. Like, incredibly easy to snap. It's honestly a pretty solid building system already. You've got a pretty good building system. I was a little worried that it was going to be a little bit too finicky for what we wanted to do, but I think it's fine. How's that? What the heck? Oh, you know what? I think I hit a hotkey that turns this off. I must have hit like Control Shift R or something. I don't know. I must have hit a hotkey on accident and turned that off. That was not important. Yeah, it made that sound effect right before I muted it. My bad. That's funny. Is that what that beep sound was? I guess so. I didn't even hear a beep sound. My sounds got like messed up recently. When we get donations and stuff, are you guys hearing alerts? Like, what is this? But these should be coming through my music channel, and I'm not hearing anything like that. No alert sounds. Is your computer okay? Like, genuinely, your search isn't working, sound isn't working, alerts aren't working. Is everything good? I don't know. Probably not. I put this computer, because my computers go through, like, I put them to work. I can't even tell you how many hours I sit at these computers, right? My last one lasted like a few years. It was like, I don't know, probably like 5 years or 4 or 5 years or so. And then the fan started going out. My GPU started acting weird. Now Abby uses it and it works just fine for her. But she doesn't really put a lot of work in, you know. She does like YouTube and Roblox. And that's about all she does on her computer. And Discord calls. A lot of Discord calls. But yeah, anyway. Fix those errors. So yeah, we have a reputation system. We don't need that. That'll go away. A skills system. I think we could keep these. And I actually do think we should have some sort of skill tree. But maybe not. You know, I don't know. Because maybe we don't need... Like, I do think it'd be cool to have, like, a combat skill. But maybe we just, like, kick this down to, like, warrior and mage. And we just make all the melee weapons warrior and all the magic weapons mage. You know? Like, maybe it just needs to be simple. I'm just messing around. It's always nice to pass down the PCs to the kiddos. My nephew is the same super light user. Yeah, his computer is something like a $300 hand-down, or homemade, hand-me-down used PC. Yeah. Yeah, Abby, before Abby had the one that I have now, or the one she has now, she had my one previous to that. And that one was pretty junk. It's still sitting in the corner over there because, like, I always think, like, well, one day I'll set up a server on it or something, but I'm not going to do that. So I don't know why I have it sitting there, but... Anyway, I don't know if we need all of these classes because there's not going to be that much combat in the game. I'm thinking that the only combat in the game is going to be, like, if we do the shade, there will be, like, shade monsters to fight, right? And there will be, like, I think we should have some, like, enemies. Like, we should have golems. But I don't know if we need, like, a full-on, like, it's not an RPG. I don't think we need a full-on, like classes system, you know? We can keep the skills in, you know? We're not going to have bug catching. We have fishing already in. May as well keep that, I guess. Can you level up fishing? You don't level up fishing, do you? You just fish. You just get better stuff, yeah. We don't need a mount. There's no mount skill. I don't know why these three don't even, like, exist. But cooking, farming, we don't have tinkering. We're not going to do tinkering. Tinkers don't exist yet. We'll have cooking, farming, tailoring, carpentry, blacksmith, alchemy. Maybe alchemy. I don't know if we need alchemy, you know? We might make Matt mad. That's like Matt's thing. I like the class system in survivals. It might be a weird one though. Oh, you might be a weird one though. I do too. Like, well, in Shrouded, I think works really well. There's not like a class system. There's just a skill tree. And we could do that. We could just have a skill tree that, like, it can branch in different directions, and it could branch in, like, building or crafting or combat or food, you know, like, we could do all kinds of different things. And it could have, like, I don't know, because I guess it doesn't have to be round. I just thinking Enshrouded, but, like, it could do whatever we want to do. Or we could just have, like, skills you can unlock in each one of these. I don't know. You know, could be kind of cool. What if every time you found like a place of power or whatever, or the, what are they called, the steamy life holes? Maybe like every time you find one of those, and we could just put like a couple in each zone, it like pops up and gives you like an option for like every, like maybe we don't even need all these skills either. You know? We can have like cooking, and cooking and farming could like go together maybe. And then maybe tailoring and blacksmithing could go together. And then carpentry can be its own thing, like building, crafting. Wait, why did music start? Why do we have music? I thought we just took that out. I swear we just fixed the music. Audio. Music playlist night. That's why. We had daytime and music, or daytime and nighttime playlist. Anyway, but maybe like we combine all those skills into like 5. Let's say just combat, or like let's say like warrior, magic, warrior, mage, crafting, cooking, building, or something like that. I don't know. Whatever. Let's just say we narrow it down to 5. And every time you like unlock a place of power, it like gives you like 5 options, like lists 5 options, and they'll be just like icons, whatever, and you hover over them and it tells you what they do. And you can pick a skill, or like basically like a talent, right? For those things. So you can be like, oh, this one gives me the option to do this, or this, right? Like these 4 different things. And maybe it would be like combat is like, oh, you have 20% more damage against aggressive enemies or something. I don't know. Or you take 20% less damage. I don't know. Just like minor things like that, like nothing crazy. Or you could pick like cooking, and it like gives you, you have a higher chance to not burn your food. I don't know how cooking's gonna work yet. I assume it's gonna be similar to how we already have it. So like maybe you have like a chance to make double recipes or something, right? Like a 20% chance to make 2 meals instead of 1. Or not to like use some of the ingredients, whatever. I don't know, whatever. Stuff like that. That could be kind of cool, because then it almost feel like a roguelike, or like not like a roguelike, but well, yeah, I guess kind of like a roguelike, but also kind of like a survivor's clone, like a vampire survivor's clone, where like every time you like unlock a new thing, you have like a list of things you can choose from. The problem with that is that you might want 2 of those things, and you just won't ever get those options again, because it's like that's locked then, and that would feel kind of bad. Maybe you just get skill points and you can put them on whatever skills you want. I don't know. We'll just have a tree for each one. That's fine. We'll just do like simple trees, and you can just get skill points from those and put them in there. Like the class system and survivals. Yeah, so I think the reason we don't need the class system is because I just don't think we're going to have a lot of combat. Like, we're not going to have a whole bunch of NPCs running around fighting you. You're not going to have like scarecrows. You're not going to have a ton of monsters in the world like attacking you all the time. Like, we will have combat for sure, but like it'll be a really minor part of the game. Like, in fact, I'm already thinking like our weapons can be like dropped like way down. Like we're not going to use any like nearly as many weapons we're using right now in Swords of Magic. We're probably just going to use like the base like tiers. You can like level up those things, and we're probably going to get rid of things like spears. We'll probably have like sword, dagger, hammer, maybe like warhammer. We don't even need dagger, honestly. Like, maybe we just even dumb it down more. We would just do like sword, warhammer, bow. Am I missing something important? And staff, obviously. Just like 4 types of weapons, and we just do like tiers. I'm considering that. There's a lot to think about to like dumb that, like, or like because I just don't think we need all of that complexity that Swords of Magic has, because like in Swords of Magic it's an RPG. You're building up your character. You're like You know what I mean? Like there's just a lot that goes into Swords and Magic to like make the game to like for like player progression and stuff. And we just don't need that level of detail in this. Because this whole game is just based on like gathering resources, building a city. Okay, it's almost 3 o'clock. We're gonna go find someone to raid because I'm hungry. It's dinner. It's lunchtime. Who should we raid? Crimson? Lana has 432 viewers. She's killing, isn't she? Let's go raid Crim. / raid. Thank you guys for hanging out today. Ryu, thank you so much for all the insane donations, and thank you to Shablo and Alex. You guys are amazing too. If you're not here, then whatever. Thank you anyway. You guys are amazing. That was really uncalled for, but I really appreciate all of the support and the birthday wishes for Quinn. And I will see you guys tomorrow, every single day this month. So I'll see you again tomorrow. Might be a late night stream tomorrow. We don't know. I'll be announcing in the Discord though, so you can see. And we'll make another model. So thanks for hanging out, and I will see you then. Where's the button? There it is. All right, you guys have a good one. Oh wait, didn't work. Okay, credits aren't working. Oh, there they are. All right, see you guys.